Welcome to the Krueg Show, post-Niners edition. The Trey Lance era is off and running. Welcome to the Krueg Show, Friday night edition. Larry Krueger, Dan Coccimilgio, the great Ryan Smith is back and he's healthy. And we were in Santa Clara tonight. Now we're back in our home studios. The Niners looked impressive, very impressive win. The Giants going on as we speak. So let's get you updated on everything. 4-3 Gigantes, middle of the eighth inning, a game that was started by Carlos Rodon. And now the Giants trying to bring it home, a one-run victory on a big Orange Friday in San Francisco. Now that is going on there, 50 miles or so south. The 49ers opened the preseason at home against the Green Bay Packers. Niners led 20-14 at halftime, and they go on for the 28-21 win over the Aaron Rodgers-less Green Bay Packers. We may have gotten some clarification on the Jimmy Garoppolo destination, where he could be headed, because it sounds like the Jets may have lost Zach Wilson for the year. We'll get into that. We definitely want your thoughts on what you thought of the 49ers tonight. A lot of young players stepped up. We saw three quarterbacks all get time. Good to see you, fellas. Danny's got the Niner hat on. He's got a nice little glisten going. He's in Prescott, Arizona. He just played a lot of ping pong on that table off his right shoulder, and he's sweating like a dog. Sweating like a dog. Yeah, you got the great Ryan Smith in the top box over there in his humble abode in Lafayette, and of course I'm here in the Creek, and all of you are in the chat, and a lot of people want to talk, and feel free to fire away, man. I'm already looking at the chat. You've probably got 50 or 60 comments in the chat. Guys, what jumps out at you? Where are we starting our conversation tonight? Good to see you guys.
Oh wow, yeah.
You know what, Dan? Dan, I honestly, why don't you start it and tell us what from a TV perspective?
Yeah,
just watching on the couch. What stood out?
I thought Trey looked really good. He got rid of the ball quick on that TD to Danny Gray was perfect pass. He stepped right into it. Had a little bit of pressure on the throw, but he didn't budge. He just let it fly. And I really liked his scramble, how he saw that there was nothing there, and he took the 7-8 yards and got down quick. Didn't try and
he
get
slid.
That extra.
That was the first time ever we've seen him do it. He slid down. That was great.
I love that. Did not try and get the first down and run through, and he just slid in and took the 2nd and 1 or 3rd and 1, whatever it was, and that was nice. I really liked Womack on defense. He looked really good. That interception was really nice.
Which one?
He had the first one. Well, both were great. The first one was a steal, and the second one he just read it really nice. And then I thought Burks looked good when he was in there. He was all over the place, making a lot of tackles. And on the offensive line, I thought McGlinchey, for his first game back, he kind of held up, which was good to see. And on the second unit, Poe looked really good on the offensive line. He was moving guys. And Banks, he had a couple of pulls. They pulled him on on a runs, and he got some good blocks, good movement. I thought he looked okay. And then Flanagan
Foles.
Really good, and I mean, a lot of guys looked really good. I thought Davis Price looked good, and then when he was finished, the kid from Georgia Tech that came in,
Jordan Mason,
he looked good too. I mean,
5 yards of pop.
They're going to have some tough decisions because the receiver, that 2-point conversion, that was who was that caught that 2-point from Purdy looked really good. I thought on the 2-point conversion where Purdy threw it right over the guy's ear hole, and he did you guys see that?
Who caught? I'll figure out who caught that.
I'm trying to remember who caught it, but it was a really, really nice pass. I mean, pinpoint pass.
It was Tanner Hudson. Tanner Hudson, yeah.
Yeah, and they say he's going to make the team.
No, it was Keyshawn Johnson. Keyshawn Johnson.
Oh, yeah, that was Keyshawn. They were saying earlier Tanner Hudson will probably make the team as the sixth receiver because of the special teams is what Pops and
really
was saying.
No. You must be confusing. You might be confusing. Tanner Hudson's a tight end.
Well, they said
he's thinking of Keyshawn Johnson, maybe.
No.
When safe drivers save.
Well, I mean, if Tanner Hudson, if his first, I mean, if
who
he's
was it?
Maybe
Danny Gray, Ray McLeod.
No, it was a fifth or sixth receiver, and
Malik Turner,
and Timmy was saying he goes he's going to make the squad as because of his special teams, and he'll be the sixth receiver.
So not Tanner Hudson?
Probably Ray McLeod.
No. It was not any of the main guys because they said the first five guys were the Deebo and Ayuk and Jennings, and then they said McLeod and Gray would be the five guys. Those would be the five receivers, and then they said another guy. And let me look up the depth chart here.
Spicy crispy chicken sandwich.
Some people are saying Malik Turner. Some people are saying Keyshawn Johnson.
I think it was Malik Turner. It was Malik Turner.
Yeah, Turner's looked really good in camp.
Yeah,
Keyshawn Johnson, I haven't really. Oh, Larry, I think you got an ad going in the background.
Well,
The ESPN.
Yeah, it was definitely Malik Turner.
Malik Turner's like I just know his name just because the first couple days of camp I was like, what's that guy's name again? What's that number? What's his name again? Because he was awesome.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, there were a lot of positives in this game for sure for the 49ers. I mean, I thought Trey Lance looked improved. I mean, Trey Lance looks more comfortable. And year one to year two. I mean, even though he didn't play a lot in year one, I thought, he looked better tonight. 4 or 5, 92 yards, had the one touchdown, as Danny said, had the one run where he scrambled for 7 yards and he slid down. He's showing appropriate fear. I mentioned to Grant Cohn earlier today that, I think he looks at the running back room as it's Elijah Mitchell and then everybody else. Yeah. I actually think, and I understand that because Elijah Mitchell was the number one back coming into this camp, but there aren't any bad backs here. I mean, there really aren't. No. Jordan Mason, Ty Davis-Price, Jermichael Acey, Jeff Wilson, Trey Sermon. I mean, they're all pretty good, decent backs. And I think it's going to be really a hard-fought competition. But, man, I think you also saw the dynamic nature of the 49er receiving core because they're, Ayuk, no Deebo for the most part, no Juwan Jennings for the most part, and Danny Gray catches 2 balls for 99 yards. Ray McLeod, 4 balls for 63 yards. He did have a fumble, and he had 6 last year, so that's going to be something to look for. But
that's unfortunate. Danny
Gray and Ray McLeod give this wide receiver core a dynamic feel.
Well, Gray's not just a deep threat. He caught that one over the middle tonight. I mean,
he's not just a deep threat.
Yeah,
he absolutely
plays bigger than he is for sure.
I will bet you that Danny Gray at some point in the season will move up to the third wide receiver.
He's vital. He's a vital receiver.
When they go to a 3 wide receiver set late, I could see it being Ayuk and Deebo what you could even see is you could see Deebo lined up in the backfield with Ayuk, Jennings, and Danny Gray, and you got
By the way, did you guys see that the details of Deebo's contract came out, and there's actually incentives in there for him to get a certain amount of yards rushing? It's some pretty big number. Like it was like 600 yards rushing or something.
Interesting.
They're going to continue to use him as a runner.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
Here's the thing. I mean, you got to think about this logically. The value of Deebo is the runner / receiver. So it wouldn't make any sense to sign him to some big money extension and then eliminate half of what makes him so dangerous. Now, the other thing is that it's a competitive situation. I mean, do you want everybody to know that every time you line them up in the backfield, it's a diversion? No, you want them to believe that he's going to get the ball. So, so they're not going to say anything along the lines of, well, we're not going to use him as a running back anymore. There's just to what end? That doesn't really make a lot of sense. Now, he talked about it extensively. He said, hey, look, I got my money and, things got worked out and we communicated and this and that. And so I'm guarantee you they said to him, hey, look, we'll take some of that load off your back. We're not going to try to run you up the middle all the time, but, it's really imperative that we keep that option open and that we're both like publicly positive about you as a runner, because otherwise we're eliminating your value and we're eliminating the they don't have to think about you as a running back if we're all stated up front that you're not going to be a running back. So the most important things were twofold. He got his money, including nearly $60 million guaranteed. That's one. And two, they added Ty Davis-Price and they added Danny Gray. Gray's there to create more space, and Ty Davis-Price is to take some of those runs to get to the edges without using Deebo, and to maybe, have some dynamic between the tackles running also without using Deebo. So as long as they made some moves to take some of the load off his shoulders and got him the guaranteed money that he sought, I think he's fine. And I think ultimately you could talk about all the different quotes and twist them around and this and that. But ultimately it sounds like, hey, you know what? It was a negotiation. He's fine with them. They're fine with him. He doesn't want to be traded. He's happy with the way he's utilized, and, everything's hunky dory and they go forward. So I don't think we're going to see, everybody's looking to try to pick the scab on this and then try to figure it out. And when were you okay? I mean, Deebo's a competitor and Shanahan understands that. So he loves him. So it was really more about just, you're going to use this guy as a runner and a receiver, but you got to pay him like a top tier receiver because that's what he is. And then you've got to protect your investment by supporting him, by not making him run too much, not making him creating that extra room. So when he beats his guy, he doesn't take another hit. And Gray creates that room, and Davis takes some of those carries off his back, and he gets some more guaranteed money. And guess what? He's happy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think that the main thing for me, just honestly leaving that game was, well, first of all, I totally agree. I think Deebo, I'm excited to see Deebo, like, he's going to be out there. He's going to be embraced. I think he's going to do a lot more of the same. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him run more this year. Just because honestly, his skill set, I just don't really see him like, running these like deep routes and like, catching bombs from Trey Lance. And it just seems like he's so much better as a, just ball in his hands, get it to him quickly, let him create after the catch, or even just out of the backfield. And the biggest thing for me is in camp, we kept saying it, Larry, Trey's accuracy on those deep balls is pretty, it's nice. Up there as far as like top of the league deep ball accuracy. And even every practice that I went to that he struggled a little bit, even with some short, easy ones, like always the deep ball was right pinpoint. Just maybe, the receiver or the cornerback made a great play or the receiver dropped it. So I think we're going to see a ton of that. And then I'm so excited for this, for our defensive backs. Like it's not only, also I loved Hufanga, even though they called a penalty on that. I didn't really see that. I just love
actually there wasn't a penalty on. That was you talking about the hit?
It was a face mask.
Yeah,
they called
it
on
mask. Yeah, it wasn't on Hufanga though, right? It was a face mask on somebody else.
Somebody else, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
No, never mind. But
I think you're right though,
yeah.
Brian, about Deebo, because imagine a setup where you have Gray on the outside and Deebo in the slot, and Deebo runs a quick slant, and you've got Gray maybe taking a guy deep, getting maybe one-on-one coverage. It's going to be really difficult for defenses to stop that, because then you've got Kittle. If you got Kittle on the other side doing a short out or something, Trey's going to have options to just either dump it to Deebo when he runs, or get it to Kittle, or Gray, Ayuk. I mean, you're gonna. This is the team that Kyle imagined after the Super Bowl loss to Kansas City, and he's been trying to get that. He's been trying to create a quarterback that's got a rocket arm, that's mobile, and then he wants speed. And now you've got. I mean, what do you do if you put McLeod and Gray out there in the same set? I mean,
McLeod has looked great in camp, and he also, if we just know if Gray ever gets hurt, McLeod can step in there and he can do a Marquise Goodwin impression, absolutely. And
the fact got to hold on to the ball, though. I mean,
got to hold on to the ball.
What I like about Gray is he's tough, and
Marquise fumbles though for McLeod last year.
Unacceptable.
Six fumbles.
Marquise Goodwin, when he was with the Niners, he was just really kind of more of a deep threat. He wasn't an over the middle guy. Gray is a true receiver. I mean, he is. I mean, the one ball that Trey had incomplete tonight, he just let it. He threw it just a little bit late, but had he thrown it a split second earlier on the sideline outside the numbers there, Gray would have been able to stay in bounds. But still, 4 of 5 and his one incompletion, it wasn't a bad throw. It was just he threw it just a little bit late before Gray, could stay in bounds. So,
hey, Larry, I have a question for you. Do you
hold on a second? Yes, hold on. Let's pay these. Let's get this chat going. 49er George 365 donates $10. He says, shout out to Burford. Nasty loves to finish. Right tackle Anthony Davis vibes. Danny Gray will earn regular season reps with plays like that. Womack flashed. Might earn the starting nickel spot. Trey and Huff showed out. So that was 49er George 365. We also have this one we didn't read. Dustin McGale donates $4.99. He says, Giants, who are they? All I see is red and gold tonight, fellas. Trey looked so much more developed. So we got a couple of people in the chat already making donations, and then my buddy Jimmy Mole says, "How many incompletes did you have tonight, Dan?"
Hey, I've actually got some really good food up here this weekend. Today's my wife's birthday, so we're having.
You get some lumpia. You get some lumpia.
We're going to have a lot of stuff tomorrow. We're actually having a nice party tomorrow. Actually, we're kind of doing a combo because mine's next Friday, so we kind of do ours together. So we got some friends that came up and more coming up tomorrow. And
so what do you guys do? What's your partying ways? You tap a keg, you go in vodka on the rocks, little sangria. How exactly does the Coccimilgio clan? How do you guys get down? As Ratty used to say,
pretty modest, pretty mild. Not a big drink, and maybe wine is the only hard drink. Not even a hard drink, but just wine. It's kind of I'm not much of a guy that does a lot of drinking anyway. I like a little red wine, and occasionally I'll have a beer, but I'm not much for drinking too much.
You're not much for drinker?
No, not much.
You're mostly hard drugs.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah, I usually a little. Yeah.
Needle. Yeah,
just a glass of wine, a little elephant tranquilizer, and just a little.
Little steroids.
If needles aren't involved, what's the point?
Danny, just a tiny little bit of PCP, and he's all happy. Brian Lucena says, "Happy birthday, Mrs. Dan."
Yeah,
thank you. Was this Forrest Gump?
Lieutenant Dan.
Mrs. Dan, how you doing, Mrs. Dan?
Mrs. Dan, yeah. So I think I'll probably inject. A little bit of that. What was that stuff that Tatis had? See if I can.
Androlone?
Yeah. What was it?
Yeah,
what's the stuff he took?
You got a ringworm, Dan? Ringworm.
Yeah, I got some ringworm. Yeah, man. I got some ringworm.
MF says, Womack a sleeper? Man, how good was Womack? Womack really looked good. How about this for the story on Womack? He's a walk-on at Toledo. He becomes all conference. Guys, there's very few scouting axioms or scouting things that really hold the test of time. But one of them, if you can find a guy who goes from walk-on to all conference, there's a great distance there. That's a lot of work.
Baker
It's
Mayfield.
pretty rare that somebody could walk on out of school and then become all conference. When you see a guy that's a walk on and then became all conference, and then you look at him and you say, wow, guy's got NFL athleticism. He's an NFL caliber athlete. You got something. And I know that the scout, and I don't know the name of the scout, but the scout who liked Womack, I heard that, man, that scout was banging the table for Womack during draft weekend. They wanted Womack. They had targeted Womack. And, he's a little undersized, but like I saw him in the mini camp, and usually at college stars, I mean, everybody's a star that comes into the NFL. They're all college stars. Then they come into the NFL, and some become pro stars, and some guys become washouts, and some guys, everything in between. But when you can see, a day 3 draft choice who was a walk-on in college, became all conference, show up at minicamp, and kind of bounce around the field looking super cocky and confident, and that's a special player. And I saw him in the minicamp, and I thought, wow, look at this guy. He was walk on, then he was an all-conference guy. Now he's on a field with NFL players, and he stands out as the cocky, bouncing around, super energetic cornerback who's standing out in a field of world-class athletes. This guy stands out, and he really did in the minicamp. Well, man, we saw it tonight. Now, Darqueze Dennard is listed as the starter at nickelback. But man, Womack looks like he's going to make a run for that job, fellas. The picks, the tackles, do you see how many guys, they went to instant replay to confirm that interception, and he's standing right there on the line of scrimmage looking up at the board. And once he's saying something, because all of his fellow defenders were dapping him up, because this is before they announced that it was an interception, because they saw it and they're like, I'm sure they were talking loud about how that was a pick, and it was his first pick. He grabbed onto that ball and he brought it to the sideline. Then he gets another one. So Dennard is the starter at the nickel, but man, I bet you Womack's getting that job.
Yeah, whatever the opposite body language Ambry Thomas has, that's what Womack has.
That's Womack, yeah. Yeah, Ambry Thomas has regressed, no doubt.
He's in his head. He's really in his head, man. Yeah. And also, what do you think about, do you think Shanahan purposefully, drew up that deep ball in this, because Shanahan he has those plays where he knows he can get guys open, especially in the preseason. I wonder if he's trying to put a little bit of fear, or just the deep, the Trey 76-yarder. I feel like he is going to have so much fun this year with all these teams. Now that is an option, now that he just put that on tape, that changes the way teams can defend the Niners, completely changes them. So it's just going to be fun to watch this offense, man.
Mark Hope is calling me Larry Legend. He says, Larry Legend called all the playmakers tonight.
He did.
The team has holes, and if Trey gets hurt, which he will, the backup quarterback becoming. Val Ramos donates $2. Do you guys think Purdy makes the team? I said it a month ago going into camp. I like Purdy, and I think Purdy beats out Sudfeld. Now, Sudfeld, I guess, according to most reports, has looked the best in practice. I've been in the radio studio much of this last week, so I didn't get a chance to see a lot of this week of practice. But I'm just looking at what I see from Sudfeld. I don't see a strength. I don't see great escapability. I see a 6'6" quarterback.
But Purdy looks like a football instinctive guy quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I don't with Sudfeld, I see a 6'6" guy with a mediocre arm. He doesn't have a great fastball. He throws kind of a catchable football, but I wouldn't say there's any great strength to Sudfeld other than, he can throw some of the short and intermediate stuff and make it look kind of,
we have breaking news.
Effortless.
We have breaking news.
Breaking
the Giants
news.
Just won. The Giants just won, and they're still 7.5 back.
5-3. They got out hit 10-7 and they win 5-3.
Yeah.
Hey,
Seven
speaking
and a
of the
half
Giants,
back because San Diego won and Philadelphia beat the Mets. So looks like
what do you guys think about? I do think Purdy makes the team. I think I've been saying that for
from
a long
what
time.
I saw tonight. I think I texted you guys. I think next week Trey's not playing, and I bet you Purdy gets a half, and Sudfeld gets a half, and it will probably determine who is the backup because week 3 Trey will probably play the first quarter at least. I would think just because to get him ready for in-game action, and they'll have
hell of this, hell of that. By the way, Krueg still has an eye for talent. He called it with Womack. The kid had a good game. Thank you. Hell of this, hell of that. MF says might not be engaged into the show tonight until the Giants game ends. Well, the Giants game has come to an end. I'm looking at Randy Wynn and Carlos Ramirez.
Yeah,
it's
about
over.
To fill an hour.
It's over.
So maybe that means MF will be engaged. Please be engaged in the show tonight. But yeah, fun night though. Fun night. I love this time of the summer where you get NFL and you get baseball.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's fun. It's really fun to like see both your teams out there in the middle of the summertime. Niners are getting ready for their year. Giants are still trying to hang in the race or get in the race.
And we can actually go to the topic of the night because we got a donation there. There it is. With Jimmy G.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to go to.
Not
Glass
sure.
half full guy donates $1.99. Somebody loan him a penny.
Jets want Jimmy. Now here's my take.
Jimmy
on
G
this.
to the Jets. Not sure the Jets want Jimmy. Isn't the Jets offensive coordinator Mike
LaFleur?
Mike LaFleur?
Yep, it sure is.
Oh, yeah.
He was this position
Niner?
coach for 2 or 3 years with the 49ers.
Oh, plus Salah.
Yeah.
Salah went to the Super Bowl with the guy.
Yeah, so here's the thing that this could turn out. I mean, hate to see Zach Wilson go down, and hopefully it's not, significant ACL or something. But
it looked like it was.
Usually, those non-contact injuries turn out to be ACLs. Hopefully, it's not. But here's the thing for the 49ers. Now, I expect any day that the suspension to come down for Watson to be a minimum of 12 games. I don't see it being any less than 12 games. And the league wants a year. Watson's team is saying, we'll take 8 games. Yeah. I think they're going to negotiate, and it's going to come out to be 12 games. Now you have a situation, maybe you got a bidding war going between the Jets and the Browns for Jimmy G. Maybe the Niners end up playing this.
Even the Giants. And the Giants, I think Daniel Jones.
Yeah, Jones and Tyrod Taylor were horrible last night against the Patriots. Did you guys?
Oh my God!
I don't know if you guys caught any of that game, but Tyrod Taylor looked just awful. Daniel Jones wasn't a whole lot better. I mean, in a lot of ways, it's like everybody has got a quarterback better than Jimmy G until the games start. Then you've got to play. And
if
then
I'm
you
Jimmy
gotta
G, I want to go to
healthy.
the Browns though, because I got a shot.
You want to go to the Browns?
Yeah, because I got a shot at making the playoffs and resurrecting. I'm in a contract year. If he takes him to the playoffs, and all of a sudden next year he's a free agent, now he can maybe get a decent contract and pick where he wants to go.
Man, the Jets are intriguing. The thing is, what can you get? That's the other question. What could you get for Jimmy G? I mean, the Jets lost their left tackle, Becton, or their right tackle, left tackle, whatever. So I think they signed Dwayne Brown, right? Exactly. Yeah. So that tells you right there that they're not tanking the year because they lost Becton. They're trying to get it done. So what do you do? I mean, what do you do if you're the Jets? I mean, now everybody looks at Robert Saleh and says, well, Robert Saleh just got there. There's no pressure. And that might be the case. But Robert Saleh isn't the general manager. Robert Saleh is the head coach. The general manager has been there for 3 years, and there's a lot of pressure on Douglas, the GM, to, this is year 3 or year 4. I mean, he's been there for a while, so he's got to win.
I can almost bet though that the Jets staff, Saleh and LaFleur, would definitely want Jimmy because he knows the offense, and he'll pick it up real quick. It's it's.
I mean, talk about a professional. I mean, he just showed that he is a professional. He'll get in that locker room and he'll like whip the locker room into shape. He'll like set a standard of professionalism in either of the New Yorks. Seriously, like Daniel Jones.
What do the Niners need? What could they get?
I mean, draft picks, young players. I mean, honestly, I mean, I'd take another tackle. I mean, we have, although we're deep everywhere, we could always use like another player in every position. So
the guys that would interest me on the Jets, I mean, obviously, receiver wise, Elijah Moore, Garrett Wilson for sure. That intrigues me. I don't know that any of their O linemen intrigue me. I mean, I like Michael Carter, the young running back from North Carolina. I like him a lot. Love Quinnen Williams. I like Michael Clemens and Jermaine Johnson, a couple of young defensive ends they have. You're not getting Sauce Gardner, but man, DJ Reed just signed there. I'd like to have DJ Reed. It's interesting.
I wouldn't mind a Jets second either. I mean, a Jets second could be really juicy.
Second or third. I mean, even if you got a third at this point, I think you're gonna have a much better shot at getting a better pick if the Browns, if two teams get involved. If two teams are
that's what happened. That's what happened with Carolina and the Browns is they stared at each other, and everyone in the league knew that the only destination possible was to the Panthers, and the Browns kept holding out to try and get some sort of decent compensation. They ended up with a 5th round pick because eventually it got to a point where they just had to get rid of
all
them.
Comes down to supply and demand. If two teams, really, because the Browns want to win, they want to win this year.
Joe Douglas, Danny, if Joe Douglas doesn't win this year, he may be fired.
Yeah. So
I think there's a chance Salah could be gone too.
You think so? Robert Saleh just got there.
Isn't this his third year?
But like, just think about think about us during this San Francisco Giants season. Like the Giants won 107 games last year, and we've done a zillion segments on possibly firing both of them. And like Salah hasn't done shit. Sorry for the swear.
He's only had 1 year, and he took over a dumpster. I mean, it is something that they got.
Somebody's coughing. Somebody's coughing in the Coccimilgio house.
Yeah. It picks
all that drinking. Wow.
Yeah.
They're thinking of Robert Saleh trading for Jimmy Garoppolo. Jim Molay donates $10. He says, can't believe the links the Padres will go to pull off their summer choke. Fernando Tatis, 80 game suspension. How about that? What do you think more people are in the chat? We got almost 300 people in the room.
Definitely more Niners.
More Niners or more Giants tonight? Is this a Niner post game? We could do a combo here.
That's what I said. Let's do a combo, but let's leave the Giants to the very end.
Okay.
There's just so much on meat on this.
49ers says Deshaun Watson looked awful tonight.
Yeah, 1 for 5.
Yeah, he didn't look good. He looked very rusty.
Adam.
And as far as one other thing, I was going to make a comment from watching from the TV.
As opposed
first
to
cut. Yeah, just what I observed. You probably saw it much clearer being in the booth. You could see guys getting beat. The cornerback, was it Houghton or what's his name for the 49ers? He's a 4th stringer. He's going to be first cut. He looked awful tonight. He got beat 2 or 3 times. No, not Hawkins. Hold on here. I just had it up. Got it right.
Larry, what do you think about Trey Sermon? Like, I know you really liked Trey Sermon, and I like the idea of Trey Sermon. It just doesn't seem like Trey Sermon's like the back for this team because he, like you always say, and like many of you said, he builds up. Holman. Okay. Yeah. But like Sermon, he takes time to like wear on you, and you have to like keep running him out there. And by the end of the game, that's when he's going to really show dividends. But like another game where, just kind of underwhelming. And then, you got a lot of other, Jordan Mason, we haven't touched on Jordan Mason again. Jordan Mason's going to be the guy.
Looked better to me than Sermon did. And
he's going to be the guy.
I thought Jordan Mason looked like the best back I saw tonight.
Yeah. And that's what he looked amazing in practice. And I have a feeling he's going to be the guy that throughout the beginning of the year, like first quarter of the season, like he's going to go in and like just do awesome. And then everyone's on Niner Twitter is going to be clamoring, we want more Jordan Mason. We want more Jordan Mason. But it's going to probably end up taking an injury to get him there. But
a scouting buddy of mine said Jordan Mason reminds him of Marion Barber. Remember Marion Barber, who played at Minnesota and played with the Cowboys, and just a punishing physical runner who runs a little upright. He's got some good size to him, can catch the ball out of the backfield, kind of an underrated guy. Yards after contact, as a guy who breaks tackles. Yeah, Jordan Mason, 6 carries, 30 yards, 5 yards a pop. He looked good. He looked really, really good. So, yeah, Trey Sermon averaged only, less than 2 yards a carry. He may not be ideally fit for this offense. He's a little bit slow at the line of scrimmage. And, a lot of what Shanahan does, you got to really hit that hole and go. So, but I also know a lot about Trey Sermon as far as, we saw him at Oklahoma. We saw him at Ohio State. He's a guy that he can carry the ball a lot of times, but he also kind of needs to get into a rhythm. And just giving him 6 carries and just saying, do it. That's not enough to establish a rhythm. I think this is a guy who some of his best runs are, run number 17, 18, 19. So maybe he's not a fit. Maybe they're going to have to move him at the deadline. I will say this. I don't see them cutting him. He's too valuable of a player to cut. But I could see him moving him if they felt like they wanted a young player in another area.
Who's the better special teams player could come down to, if Mason or Sermon can serve on the special teams, because to me it looks like it would come down to Sermon as the last guy because.
But he also got the start tonight, so looks like he's buddy with Trey.
Well, he got the start because Mitchell didn't play and Wilson didn't play, so it's either him or Hasty, right? So, yeah.
Or Ty Davis Price. They could have started Ty Davis Price.
Yeah, that's true. A comment tonight that was interesting. I was watching. I was honing in on Drake Jackson, and then the one play he got hurt. I watched him, just make that diving tackle to get Jordan Love on the sideline. Jordan Love's pretty fast. That was very impressive. Hopefully, it's only just like a shoulder stinger or something. Hopefully, it was, but. Earlier, Tim Ryan, he says, I know this is early, but he's got a big body. You know who he compared? He comped Drake Jackson to?
Who's that?
Tim Ryan?
Alden
Smith.
Bruce Smith.
Yes.
Wow.
I was like, wow.
Bruce Smith was 285 and super fast. What do you think of this one? Eddie Flores
275, right?
Yeah. Eddie Flores says, all the talk that he's D Ford. Drake Jackson doesn't look anything like D Ford. Eddie Flores says, Larry, I saw the 49ers score their second touchdown by Sudfeld, and I left to go to the Giants game. Am I a bad fan?
No.
I don't know.
Depends on what you paid for the tickets. Depends on what you paid for the Giants tickets.
I think he means on TV. Eddie, I would imagine you were on TV. He didn't drive to Santa Clara, watched, and then go to the Giants game. He didn't have tickets to both games. He watched it on TV and then jumped up. Here's my thing. Do what you want. Do what you want. Game. But are you a bad fan? I don't know if you're a bad fan. What I think it means is that you're like, I would say most fans they tuned in, they wanted to see Trey. And then there were an awful lot of fans who were walking out of the stadium in the third quarter.
You know what? He's actually an Epic fan. He left Levi's to go to Oracle.
No, it didn't say he left Levi's.
No.
It says he went to both.
No.
Eddie, to clarify in the chat. He says, I went to both. So he drove to Santa Clara. He drove to Santa
because it started at 5:30 and then the game was 7:15. The Giants.
I mean,
I'm
that
sure,
to
Eddie,
me, it's not a bad fan, but I would say you might be.
Arguably great fan.
Eddie,
Too good a fan.
Eddie,
Well,
I would schedule. Hold on,
I would-
Eddie. Let me look here.
I would say you're trying to get too much done. I would say you're one of those guys that's trying to do too much. You know what I mean?
Maybe
I would say commit. I don't because think about that. It takes. I mean, these stadiums are not in the same parking lot. It's not like Philadelphia or something, or one of these places where the stadiums are right next to each other. We're talking about 50 miles of driving. So you drove to Santa Clara. I would imagine you live up here in the north, in the city or the Bay Area, up towards the city. So you go to Santa Clara. You drive 50 miles to get there with gas prices today. You're going to hang for a little bit. You're going to get in your car and you're going to go back and you're going to, Stephen Dre says $80 parking each way. I would say you're not a bad fan, but you're not necessarily
I wouldn't go.
You got money to burn. You got money to burn.
I would save it. Let me look at your schedule.
I mean, it is a Friday night.
I'm looking at Larry's schedule here. He's got an opening, Eddie, at 10 a.m. for a counseling session. 50 minutes for $125. But since you're in the chat room tonight, and if you become a member for $4.99, the first session will be free. So,
Joe B says Eddie's a baller.
Yeah,
I'll say this, Eddie. You got FU money. You got FU money. You got the kind of money that says, you know what? I don't give a shit if I got to pay gas. I don't care if I got to waste time in between. I'm going to be the guy who buys tickets to the Niners, watches some of it, gets in my car, and then this is what I don't get. I don't understand. If you're watching a Super Bowl contending team that only has one preseason game and you're at that preseason game and you probably drove 50 miles to get there, why do you got ants in your pants? Right? What are you rushing back to see? What, Kapler's manicured beard? I'm not getting that. If the Giants, maybe if you started with the Giants and then you went to the Niners, I would get it, because then at least you started, you're a baseball fan, you were at the game, it started to be a snooze, and you went to a football game for a team that's going to be home only once until like the middle of September. But to me, that makes more sense than to leave a preseason game to go watch a team that's under 500 in baseball in August.
I gotta say, I'm in awe of Eddie. I think that's pretty dope, because honestly, I'm pretty beat just from going to
that took
game.
Caltrain. That's even worse. He said, I'm not too big on the preseason. I took Caltrain and VTA. What is VTA?
I'm not sure what VTA is, but it sounds cool.
Danny, have you ever had VTA, Danny?
I know
Veterans Transportation Association.
I don't like even the VA.
I had a patch of the VTA, but I took a penicillin pill, and it's starting to go away.
Really? Was it a bad rash? Or?
Well, it was a bad VTA. I was getting the VTA. It was all back behind my ear, and it was starting to go down my neck. But now I use the cream. And you know what? My VTA is starting to go away.
From Balco?
Yeah, Greg Anderson provided me with some cream. I've got back acne and back knee, and this I've noticed my brow is quite thick. But no, my VTA is going away. Now I don't know what the VTA is, but go for it. Do you? Life's too short. Don't listen to me.
This guy's got an incredible amount of testosterone.
Eddie, don't listen to Larry yet. He still doesn't have his counseling credentials. He's
this guy is extremely virile. Imagine just having the energy to just go get fired up for a Niners preseason
but
game.
But you're leaving Trey Lance to go to Austin Wins?
Yeah, but Trey Lance was
already out.
He was already done.
He said he left after the second TD. That was Sudfield's.
He's not a Purdy guy. It's all right. I get it.
You're leaving Marcelino McCrary Ball for Austin Wins?
Well. He played well tonight.
What'd you think of McCrary Ball?
I thought he looked really good.
MMB.
I love that pick. He put 56 yards. He picked that ball up in the air, and then he's a linebacker with defensive back skills.
There was a moment in the press box that I wish Rye could have caught on his video. Marcelino McCrary Ball picks off a pass, takes it back like 50 or 60 yards.
56 yards, yeah.
Yeah. And all of a sudden I look up, and who's standing in the press box pointing right at me? Grant Cohn. I pointed back. I'm like, that's right, baby. That's right. There you go. Marcelino McCrary Ball.
You said you liked him. I know you did the other night.
Oh, I love him. I love him. Played at Indiana. I thought my two picks to click tonight were Tay Martin, who didn't touch the ball, and Marcelino McCrary Ball.
I will say this. I don't think Tay Martin makes the team.
Give it time, Danny. Give it time.
Well,
he's a hell of a player.
Unless there's an injury, I don't see a spot for him. Where's he going to?
I think he gets the 6 wide receiver spot, but you know what? We'll see, because I think he's really good. Glass half full guy donates $1.99. Guess it pays to hold on to Jimmy. LOL. Seriously? Exactly. That's a great one right there. Good call, glass half full guy. Now Garoppolo has got more value. And it's a rough game. There's only so many quarterbacks. There's less quarterbacks than there are quarterback jobs. So just hold on to your guy and be patient. You'll get something for him.
Seriously. Yeah, I mean, that Daniel Jones, I heard a great
analogy. What do you want from the Jets? You just hold up Douglas and say, you know what? I want your number one. No. I want your number one. Hey, your season's going down the crapper. You want to go to Joe Flacco? Go to Joe Flacco. Otherwise, give me your number one.
I think he may say, though.
How awesome would that be?
But I feel like that's a surefire way to get fired, is to trade a number one for Jimmy Garoppolo, and you could have had him for like a 4 like 3 weeks ago.
Throw in Trey Sermon.
Yeah.
If you could if you got a 2 from anyone, take it. But I think it's going to be a 3. I would love to see it be a 2. If Cleveland gets
I'd rather have it be a pick. I'd rather be a player. You're in your Super Bowl window. You don't need picks. You need players. Give me JOK. Give me Jeremiah Wusu-Koramoah. Give me Kareem Hunt.
Where are you going to play JOK though?
I know, but I mean, JOK is so damn fast. I mean, I love JOK. I know. There's nowhere really to play him, but maybe you could have a 5 linebacker set. Go with the Eagle defense.
Although it's never hurts to have great depth.
2-5-4.
It never hurts to have that great
have
depth
5 linebackers and 4 DBs.
Goes down. I mean, there's no way 3 linebackers make it through 17 games unscathed, and they all play.
What about for the Giants? Do you think that Daniel Jones will ever play another snap as a starting quarterback in the NFL if he gets traded, or you think he'll just be done? I don't know why you'd want him as a backup. And the fact that Dayball,
who made that pick? Dave Gettleman.
I mean, the fact that Dayball is already pretty much out on him at this point, and that Daniel Jones is playing like crap. It's I heard a great analogy
behind such a bad line, though. I mean, he's had so little help.
They've said that forever, though. But
it's been true forever. I mean, let me look at Daniel Jones's stats. He was 6 of 10 for 69 yards.
But he's also
sacked once.
Airmailing passes in training camp, and that's you go to a wedding and everyone's like, "Oh wow, you clean up nice." It's everyone looks good in a freaking wedding attire. That's the preseason. Daniel Jones should be dominating. It is his
Did you see who the Giants' year? Did you see who the Giants' number 1 receiver was in that game?
No, who was it?
Richie James, the ex-Niner, 3 catches, 44 yards, and a touchdown.
Richie James.
He's got speed. He's always had speed.
Any more news on Drake Jackson's shoulder? I haven't heard anything.
Even comes wrapped.
No, there was nothing concrete in the post game. We were listening to it. Chardall wants to call in.
Yeah, I saw that.
Can you include the call-in link?
Let's hit that during the Giants.
And
Chardall, give us a few minutes before we welcome you in. We're not ready for you. We're still loading.
He did say please.
He did say please? Damn. Oh, if he said please, in that case, put him right on. Haha donates $5. Been so long since the 49ers quarterback wide receiver combo could take the top off the D, like Trey to Gray today. Well, I like the way that sounds. Trey to Gray.
Trey to Gray.
Trey to Gray. Fade to black. Defenses won't be able to cheat up all game. Exactly. Danny Gray, he ran 4.33, but everybody's, it's like we've seen guys who run 4.33 that don't play to that speed. This is a player who ran 4.33 that really plays functionally faster than that. He plays like a 4.2 guy. And Danny said it earlier, and he's totally right. He's not just a fly pattern guy. He's not just a go pattern down the field guy that stretches the field and that's it. This guy can make plays in the middle of the field. He at SMU, they had a receiver named Robertson who was supposed to be their number one guy this year. And they get into the season, and Danny Gray easily was their best receiver. Gray took away the number one job from Robertson in SMU's camp last summer and held it all year. So,
I really
Danny
think
Gray
the
is
Niners,
explosive.
I think with Trey and Gray and Ray McLeod and Ayuk and Deebo, this is Kyle's best team he's had as a 49ers head coach. I mean, this is kind of
better than the Super Bowl team.
Yes, because of the depth. I mean,
but it all depends on Trey.
Jordan Elliott was saying that the other day from Niners Nation. He was saying that he thinks this is the best Niner team they've ever had.
QB aside.
Under Shanahan.
Yeah,
QB aside, it is.
Well, yeah, the defense is if Trey plays just up to his capabilities without making, and I believe Kyle will put him in situations where he's not. You got so many weapons. That's the thing. He's not going to be forced into, I don't think, a lot of 3rd and 10s this year. I think with the weapons that you can utilize, you can get yourself into a lot of 3rd and 2s, 3rd and 3s, because if under Jimmy, it was constant 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10. And with this weapons, it reminds me a lot of, Gray's going to remind me a little bit of Tyreek Hill, and Ray McLeod's kind of like Hardman as far as the speed. And then you got Ayuk.
Okay, we're getting a little carried away here.
Well, no, I think Gray. I'm talking about just speed. I
don't even like Hardman.
You don't?
Hardman doesn't do anything for me. No, he's just totally a guy. He's just totally mediocre. No, I hear you. They're all fast for sure. Glass half full guy donates $4.99. Going to be so nice being able to actually stretch the field with Trey, unlike Jimmy, who had no deep throw. You know what Jimmy's completion percentage was on passes 30 yards down the field since 2017?
32%.
Pretty bad.
The league average on that pass is 30%.
He's 18.
Guess what percentage you had?
21.
16%. He was a 16% guy on 30 passes 30 yards down the field. 16. 1-6. That's embarrassing, man. That's bad. Eddie Flores says, hey, I'm 27. I got no responsibilities. I got both tickets cheap, very good seats in both games. I'm living like Larry. All right. Hey, Eddie, don't listen to me. I'm just some
SpongeBob reference.
I'm just some big mouth know-it-all. Don't take it to heart. Just, pretend I'm not here. Go about your business.
One? Did you already have that one up? Going to sleep? What was that one? I saw $4.99 super chat there. What was it? It just went away.
Going to be so nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
we just read that.
Okay,
we just read that one. We also have this one here too from James Foster, $1.99. He says Danny Gray equals Taylor Gabriel. Oh, he's way better than Taylor Gabriel.
Oh yeah, Taylor Gabriel was too small,
and Taylor Gabriel didn't run like Danny Gray. Danny Gray's faster than Taylor Gabriel.
He's a 4.33. Danny Gray.
Well, and that's
Taylor Gabriel's pretty damn fast.
He was fast, but Danny Gray's got better height, and also Danny Gray has actually got more explosiveness. Well, Danny Gray plays faster than 4.33. 4.33 is just Danny Gray's time. That's just his time.
Yeah,
he plays. Anything. I mean, you can see it. There's guys. I mean, Tyreek Hill ran in the 4.2s. He played in the 4.2s. Heck, Vernon Davis ran 4.37. He didn't play that fast. I mean, there's guys who run in the 4.3s that don't play 4.3.
Jerry
Danny Gray
Rice, what was
ran
his best
4.33 and plays like 4.27, something like that. What
was Jerry Rice, like a 4.4 guy, and he played like
no, he's like a 4.7.
No, he was like 4.5, 4.52, 4.55.
Yeah, but no one could catch him when he had the football.
Nobody
Amazing.
ever caught him from behind.
Nope.
Ever.
His 40 was a 4.71.
Who?
Jerry Rice.
I don't know about that. I think 4.52 is what I read. 4.71.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like slow for a linebacker.
I know.
I think we got to give Jerry a little bit more than that. I think it was more. I think it was closer to 4. I mean, who's the best receiver in pro football right now? Cooper Kupp. Who did he run?
Exactly.
4.62.
Balance is always way underrated.
The 40-yard time is
explosiveness, and
it's all and it's
how to get open.
There's so much more. There's so much more. I mean, Ronaldo Nehemiah was a 49er. He's one of the fastest men alive. But he was a track guy. So you got to play. You got to be a receiver. You got to actually make plays. So
Patrick Mahomes ran a 4.8, and he's fast. I mean, he's super fast and quick and elusive with the ball.
That's because he's got instinct.
Yeah, exactly.
There's guys that are super fast that don't have any football instinct. That's what I look about Danny Gray as I'm watching him play. He goes over the middle and he makes catches. He uses his hands. He doesn't have to have it throw it into his body. Like some guys, he can stretch out, catch the ball. He's tough.
Look at this in the chat. Mark Hope, what the fuck is Taylor Gabriel? That anonymous. What about Roman Gabriel? And then anonymous, or Peter Gabriel. There you go.
I
actually like
Roman
Peter Gabriel.
LA Rams.
Do you guys like Peter Gabriel or no?
I don't really know Peter Gabriel.
You've never heard of him?
I've heard of him.
But you don't like his music?
I know he's an artist of sorts.
Do you like Michael Bolton? What's your favorite Michael Bolton song? Well, I don't know. I kind of like them all, I guess. I kind of like them all. And then they're like, why don't you go by Mike Bolton? He's like, I'm not changing my name. It's, that guy's an ass clown. Nothing better. Danny, have you seen Office Space?
Office Space? No.
Oh my God, Danny!
I need to get more of a life. I spend too much time.
Oh no, you go watch Office Space, and you will absolutely. First of all, Dan, have you ever? I know you're big baller, shot caller, financial wizard, but have you ever worked in an office?
Yes,
you have.
Yes,
where people saying other people happy birthday and
I hate office. I hate
everybody's standing around happy birthday.
Wait, what is one Gabriel?
I spent a lot of years in an office.
Oh, then you would love Office Space. Oh my God, it's so freaking good. It's Jennifer Aniston, and who's the guy who plays the main character? Peter something.
Oh, he's in Swingers.
I mean, just awesome movie. Awesome movie.
I'll rent it. Yeah.
Oh my God, Danny, you'll love it. To me, it's
Ron Livingston.
Ron Livingston. I saved it on my DVR because every time I watch this movie, I'm like laughing my ass off.
Yeah.
and he lives in there's all kinds of like jokes that you have to look real closely. Yeah. So they show his apartment complex, and I never noticed it until after I saw the movie like 17 times. Guess what apartment complex this guy Peter lives in?
Right.
Morningwood Apartments. Morningwood. He lives in the Morningwood Apartments.
That's just good old fashioned 90s humor right there.
Yeah, it's awesome. Great movie.
And we got a couple of more donations here. Did Womack
lock in his spot on the team? Glass half full guy, $1.99. Thank you, glass half full guy. And by the way, March of the Penguins, is that what he's stealing his logo from there? Did you guys ever see March of the Penguins?
Great flick. Kind of sad. Kind of scary.
I didn't see that one either.
You didn't see March of the Penguins?
No. Is Ron saying that one or what?
No, it was who's the guy who voiced it? Right.
I don't even know. Is it the guy from all the BBC shows?
The guy that Caliendo does an incredible impersonation of.
John Madden.
Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman.
Okay.
Freeman.
I have to write these
March of the
down.
Penguins
Okay.
ain't bad.
I gotta watch some movies.
March
here
of
this
the
week.
Penguins, but no, Office Space before March of the Penguins.
Okay.
I mean, you
March of the Penguins is
So
is
they
like
answer the
watching a
guy's
Giants game.
question about.
There's not a lot of action in March of the Penguins.
Did Womack just secure a spot on the team? Yes.
Dude, Womack has made this team.
He already
man.
made the team, but he may have secured
He may
a
take
starting
away
spot.
Darquez Denard's starting spot as the nickel corner. And to me, the nickel corner is hugely valuable. Hugely valuable.
Yeah. Wait.
You're playing nickel. You're playing nickel like 70% of the time.
Oh, maybe even more.
Right.
Honestly.
A guy like Womack, if he became your starting nickel corner, might get more snaps than Aziz Al-Shaair.
Thank you, Jaguayo. Love you, Jaguayo.
Yeah, Jaguayo. Oh, wait a second there. What happened there? Ultimate 49er Ultimate Report, $2. Great show, Larry Krueger. Oh, thank you.
DeGuayo said,
I'm getting a lot of hate for this, for the Peter Gabriel. I feel like I know most of the people I need to know. What are some of his songs? How have I not heard of
Mercy
this
Street.
Couldn't.
It's kind of, I don't want to say it's depressing, but he's very talented.
I'm down to be a little depressed. Come on.
Mark Hope said, yes, love Peter Gabriel. Saw him in Golden Gate Park. Ooh, I bet you that would be a fun concert. Peter Gabriel in Golden Gate Park.
Oh my God. I would do just about anything to go see Peter Gabriel in Golden Gate Park.
I'm wondering what this is all about here.
Peter Gabriel was on the Lawrence Welk show frequently. No, he wasn't.
Is that
Brian Lucena.
Is that like
Lawrence
the Lawrence
Welk
Hall of Science?
Probably Danny knows who Lawrence Welk is.
Yeah, I know who Lawrence Welk is.
Did you ever watch the Lawrence Welk show?
No, wait. Sing a little of Sledgehammer. That's a song. Dan, give me a little Sledgehammer.
I'm not singing nothing.
Just give me like a general.
I'm not singing nothing.
Danny doesn't want to sing.
No.
Wait,
I'm not,
what is Sledgehammer?
What's going on here in the chat here? Let me see. They've got
Ryan's life is too busy for Peter Gabriel.
He started in
Matthew Mears. I have no idea who Gabriel is. Really?
What's this private chat going on that says, I think Larry in his prime would be the fastest?
They're talking about doing 40-yard dashes between all three of us.
I'll tell you.
I'll tell you what, Dan. Your hamstring, both your hamstrings
ass.
will be pulled.
Dan,
it's 60. Yeah, but
Dan. Okay, Dan. How big is that room that you're in right now?
Oh, in your eyes.
How big is the room that you're in right now?
150, 200 square feet around here.
Okay, go. Can you run across the camera so we can see how fast you cross the screen? As fast as you can, Dan. Can you take off your headphones and run across the screen, and we'll see.
It's either that or you sing Peter Gabriel and you have no choices.
Come on, Dan. Just run across the screen so we can see.
They're talking about in our
prime.
I say Larry in his prime.
Can we just see it once? I want to see you run across the screen. Here we go. This should be damn good.
If I pull a hammy, you guys are.
Wait, hold on a second.
We're coming up.
Do we have any Chariots of Fire music? Here, let me see. I'm going to come up with some music here. Danny's stretching out. But Dan, I want you to go off the screen and then run as fast as you can.
That was pretty fast.
That was pretty good.
Quick off the line.
You're like Danny Gray.
Oh my God, I need him to pull his hamstrings.
Go. Look at that.
That was pretty good. I can't tell if it's the music or not, but that's pretty good.
All right, Dan, how about the other way? Can you go the other way? Can you run the other way? Can you start on the other side and run the other way?
That's not bad for 60. How quick out of my my break. That was. I can come up out of the break. Let's watch. I'll come up out of the break here. Hold on.
Where's the feeding the duck music? Danny, instead of going that way, can you go the other way? Can you run the other way?
I feel
Go
like
the other way.
Wait, okay. How fast is a sub 6 at this point? I feel like
Here we go. Go.
it's not fair. He's got the belly to kind
Look
of
at
like.
that's Drake Jackson, ladies and gentlemen. Drake
Dude, that
Jackson.
actually is. It's just so funny. He's got. I mean, that's explosive.
Now he's out of breath. He's got that swamp cooler going.
I'll get her.
Now he's getting the honeydews.
All right,
Are
hold
we
on.
sure that wasn't a stunt double?
Hey, I'm getting
What are you
I'm
getting?
getting some stank eye here because I'm waking up everybody that went to bed.
Just you know what you got to do is just hit the microwave and cook a few of those completes. That'll wake him up.
I should have taken one before I ran because that's good protein.
Matthew Mears, 4.3
Hold on, I
speed.
gotta get
Niners
the dog
signing
in the
Danny
crate.
to a one-day contract.
Chardal just says very objectively, Dan is very fast. Yes,
Dan is very fast.
Dan
he is very fast. Mark Graves. Dan is faster than Longo.
That's actually probably true.
That is so good. Where Dan faster than Belt? Justin Kerwin.
Oh God, I actually don't think I could run a 40.
That's complete speed for you, Carlo P. Seriously, it's that completes ass that you always wind up eating. Brian Lucina, in the world of muscle pulls, I think groin is the worst.
Oh,
That's a
Idaho
good-
Builder
that's a-
says it's
wait a second,
definitely the
that's-
music.
Have you ever pulled a muscle in your rib cage?
So I've never pulled a muscle, except
Have
for
you ever-
I
if
pulled a
you've
muscle with
ever
my
pulled
calf.
an abdominal muscle. I would say the abdominal muscle is worse than the groin pull.
Oh, because does it hurt when you're breathing?
Well, every time you bend over, you re-pull it.
Oh,
And it's right in your rib cage, and it's like, it's awful. It's awful.
do you have to get your wife to like tie your shoes?
Seriously, I mean, have you ever had a calf pull in the middle of the night?
Not in the middle of the night. But
Seriously,
see,
have you ever pulled a muscle while sleeping?
I
See,
don't
you're
think
too
I've
young
hurt
for this.
I've hurt
Danny-
myself while sleeping.
How?
Just like I've woken up with a kinky neck, or like I would just like fell asleep on my shoulder or something.
There's nothing worse than the incredible calf pull in the middle of the night, where you're literally, screaming for your wife to like bend your foot backwards, to flex it backwards, to like make the calf. Oh, it's terrible. It's
I actually
terrible.
have you seen those things like in the runner store? If you get runner shoe stores, they make these like socks that you wear while you sleep, and it like pulls your foot back. And I was like, wow, I bet that would feel so good. Because my problem is my feet hang off the bed a little bit, so they're extra. So I do sometimes get cramps.
Matthew Mears, how do you pull a muscle sleeping? I don't know. Well, I'll say this. If you, like Danny probably knows this because you're living in the desert. If you put a fan on you, it dries you out. Seriously, it's like it will really dry you out, and you can pull a muscle. And man, a calf, Danny, I was trying to tell Rye, he's too young for this. Pulling a muscle in the middle of the night, like a calf muscle. Have you ever done that, Danny?
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like,
no.
honey, grab my foot, flex it. Oh my God. Oh my God.
You have to jump out of bed and
Oh
and
my
stand
God,
up
it's
and
the
stretch
worst.
it. So
Oh, now I'm gonna be too scared to go to sleep tonight.
It's
calf
I hope I don't pull
monster's
one
gonna
tonight,
get me.
man.
Jaguar 56, $2. Krueger, while Dan is catching breath, to Pasquale. All right. Jaguar, it's for you. All right. Where is he? Where is he? Oh, here we go. Here we go.
We grew up with a Sunday dinner. That means no matter how busy you were, no matter where the hell you were, you came to dinner on a Sunday night.
No matter where the hell you were, you came to dinner. I like that. I like the anger that Pasquale will inject there. No matter where the hell you were,
I
you
know.
came to dinner on a Sunday night.
So I want to know what the chat is saying about.
They're saying that
who would
Dan
win
is
now.
faster than Ryan.
Well, I'm 60. I'm not that fast. I have still good step. I just
You got
had
a good
knee
step.
surgery a
No,
year ago.
you got great speed.
You have excellent
I used
speed.
to be fast. I did.
Seriously,
Used to be
Dan
really
is
fast.
very fast.
Do you guys have I know you're in a 55 and over community. Do you guys have a 55 and over Olympics there?
Oh man, that would be not even fun. That wouldn't be fun. That would be like
Have you? One of the funniest videos on
High
the
school
internet
playing
is at the.
against
What if you try to
4-year-olds.
move into the 55 community and you're like, I don't know, 52?
Oh, I thought about a
No,
bit.
seriously, if you think about that, you're 52 and you want to live in the 55 and over community. Do they say, get the hell out of here, you kid?
Larry,
You stupid ass kid. You 52-year-old. Come back in 4 years.
I used to
No?
film like bits and stuff with one of my buddies, like just goofy videos. And then one of them was going to be, we were going to do a thing during COVID where because of COVID, there was 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. It was like, if you were older than 65, you could go, you had your own hour to shop in the morning. Like it was all open and just nobody else in the store and just so nice. And so we were going to do this whole bit where an older, someone that's 61 gets a fake ID from a high schooler. Cause that's the only people who know how to procure fake IDs, gets a fake ID from a high schooler to be over 65 and then use it.
Bomber T, Dan would burn Ryan's ass, I think.
You might.
I don't. If it was maybe 10 yards.
Nothing better than a strong statement followed up by, I think.
Yeah.
You know?
Wait, okay.
The Niners are going to win the Super Bowl, I think.
Wait, Larry, we should actually do this.
The Giants are going to the playoffs, I think.
I think not.
It does. The I think really deflates your argument, doesn't
Absolutely.
it? Doesn't
Absolutely. Okay, one of the funniest videos on the
Warriors
internet
going to
is
go back to back, I think.
one of the funniest videos on the internet is Barstool when they first started out and they got Todd McShay. They was the biggest get they ever had. They got Todd McShay, and it's Dave Portnoy and all these guys super out of shape. And of course, they're all still cocky and think they can do all these athletic feats. So Todd McShay puts them through an NFL combine, and everyone, Dave Portnoy pulls his hamstrings, you see them both pop within the first 20
geez.
and everybody gets injured. That would be a hilarious
I'm
thing
not
to do.
doing anything that crazy. I mean, Rich Eisen, man, you got to hand it to that guy.
Oh my
40
God,
every
I know.
year.
For St. Jude's.
Oh,
Brandon
man.
West, are the 49ers a Super Bowl team or not, y'all?
Potentially.
You know what? That's another one. I don't say y'all enough.
Sometimes
Do you
I'm
guys
confused about it.
I would say my y'alls. I'm less than a y'all a month. I'm like a y'all
I think it's
every
year. I think it's
4
close.
months
I
maybe.
think it's closer
Do you
to
say
a year
you all
for me.
though?
Y'all.
I will
Hey,
say
are
you
you
all.
all-
Yeah.
you all.
Hey, are you
But-
all
but
ready to
y'all,
get this
y'all.
live stream going?
Y'all ready
But
to?
I can't go y'all.
I feel
No,
like
that's
I'm
a Southern thing,
appropriating
isn't it? Y'all?
something else.
Y'all?
Yeah.
Isn't that
It's a
Southern thing?
definite Southern thing.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you my buddy Pete in Texas? The guy had no accent at all. And then we'd go we'd go to a bar. There'd be some good looking girls or women there, and all of a sudden he's like gentleman Southern gent Pete.
Oh my god.
How y'all doing?
All the kids all the high schoolers that went to TCU and Baylor and started wearing
seriously.
Cowboys hats and
What's more Southern, y'all or I reckon? Y'all or I'm fixing to go. I'm fixing to go to a Niner game.
I'm fixing to go to a Niner game, I
pretty
reckon.
That's pretty Southern.
Y'all think
what-
I'm fixing to go to a Niner game, you reckon?
Probably 3 hours ago, Danny was yelling to his house party. Y'all want some completes? Y'all
I
want
guess
some completes?
I like the
No,
prospector
no.
voice. I prefer the prospector voice to the we could pull off the prospector voice because that's technically Northern California. I'm going to California.
Is Kermit Frog
bad.
Southern or is that?
I
more
love it.
California. Or
I
what-
love
what-
it, Dan.
Yes, Kermit Frog is more
Oh,
California.
I forgot to learn
Well,
the
East
character.
Coast girls are hip. I really dig.
Cali hats. All right, it's on. Krug Show 40-yard dash for charity. Oh, hell no.
Oh,
Vertical
not
jump.
40-yard dash. If you could, if
Even
we
the
could
kids,
do it,
even the kids would be like, we don't want the money that bad. Don't do it for us. Val Ramos,
Oh,
hope you
man.
get better, Niner. We got this one. Giant glass half full guy donates $4.99. Does a Jimmy G trade happen before the next preseason game? It happens before the 30th of the month because that's when the contract becomes guaranteed. So that's 8 days from now. I
think if
I could see it happening in the next 48 hours.
I see it happening in the next 48 hours if Wilson's MRI comes back with an ACL tomorrow.
Wait, Dan, I think Dan just earned us
Name that tune. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Peter Gabriel. We got a new sub for life, I think, because of Dan's Hermit the Frog voice, honestly.
What's that?
Y'all have earned yourself a sub Niners for life.
Oh man, I was fixing to listen to the Krueg show. I was fixing to listen to the Krueg show.
You know what, guys? Everybody's asleep here. I think I'm going to have to do my best Jay Hutch.
Look at Danny. You better start screaming.
I should. Hey, you guys dare me? I was like a couple of people I don't even know. Okay, so maybe
you have people in your house you don't know.
Well,
you're very hospitable.
There's one, but it's a friend of people we do know. So
you should go get a razor and jackass them. Like bring the camera up behind them.
Are you afraid? Are you afraid of maybe getting robbed?
No. So what I'm thinking is maybe I should just like start screaming really loud, like just like go. Everybody up! The house. There's robbery. Coyotes coming into the house. Coyote came to the dog.
Why don't you start getting irate about Dixon Machado and see if anybody wakes up?
As Hermit the Frog.
Just start yelling about Dixon Machado and Kervin Castro and Farhan and Gabe.
Dixon Machado cleared waivers. He's back with the River Cats.
Oh, I'm shocked. I'm really shocked. Yeah. Hey, Farhan, guess what? He cleared waivers because he sucks. Nobody wants him. Have you thought about that? Farhan's like, that was all part of the plan. It was all part of the plan. See, now you see there's method to my madness. I pick up people nobody else wants.
What do you think about this? Do you think these are the only 4 teams that matter in the NFC? Because I kind of do. I kind of agree. Except for I'd maybe throw in the I think the Vikings are going to be good this year.
Kyle McKiernan, eat more sausage to relieve cramps.
Okay, over under. How many fights this week 49ers Vikings in their practices? Over 1 or under?
Here's the question. Which 49er and which Viking? Why don't we bet on this? Which 49er and which Viking fight? Who's going to fight in Niners Vikings? I'm going to
Javon Kinlaw and Kirk Cousins.
I'm going to bust out the depth chart here. I'm going to look for the fighters. Who's going to fight? Who is going to fight?
Could be somebody who needs a roster spot, maybe, to show their.
There's always somebody who's going to throw hands.
Kirk Cousins versus.
Kirk Cousins ain't going to get in no fight.
Kirk Cousins versus Poe. That'd be a good fight.
I would say it's going to be like somebody like Daniil Hunter or like Zardarius Smith.
It's always somebody
like Mike McGlinchey.
Yeah,
I don't see McGlinchey getting into it. No.
Maybe Ayuk again. Maybe Ayuk again.
I'm thinking maybe Harrison Smith. He seems like the kind of guy who would be kind of cheap.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Kevin Gibbons versus.
You got to go O-line. Garrett Bradbury.
Yeah, let me look at Minnesota.
Oh, Cousins is on the COVID list. Dang.
I'll say it's going to be Christian Darrisaw and Kamoko Toure.
Hey, he looked pretty good tonight. Kamoko Toure made a couple.
Yeah, he did. He really did.
And who's the other guy that the other? Who was the number 1 draft pick from Arizona they picked up? He had a good play. Who was that?
Kemdiche?
Yeah, he made one good play, but nobody picked him up. He just shot right through the line. And
Kemdiche at times looked really fast. I thought there was times where Kemdiche and Drake Jackson looked really good.
I think Kemdiche's
Jackson hurt the shoulder. but I don't know how
Yeah.
serious it was. They said
I
he was
think,
out in the third quarter.
They said he was
They said he's
questionable.
So that means that's better than saying he's out. So
Yeah.
I think my first step is probably kind of like Kim DJ, or is it more like Drake Jackson or Boza? What do you think? Or, you think I should?
California Niner. I like my ass medium rare. Thank you. Thank you. I think context is everything on that. But yeah. Chardall. I'll wear my Lance jersey every game.
Chardall
That's
says
if
I
we-
should dress up.
Do you
as
think
Krueger.
people are going
that's-
to calm down, by the way? That's another good question. Do you think everybody's going to calm down about Trey Lance's practice stats now that he's played a game and
Hopefully he
looked
was
pretty good?
80%.
I think it's going to be worse.
Really?
I think what's going to happen is that now, because he did that, like everyone's going to build him up. There's going to be so many "I told you so's" that then drives everyone else to double down on being more negative. And the first opportunity, he's not that great. They're going to just kill him. All right, and people are telling me I should dress up as Fozzie Bear.
I love Fozzie Bear.
Fozzie Bear's kind of cute.
Mark,
You guys
Hope
ever
says
been to? Have you guys ever been to
Right.
Disneyland, the California Adventure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have that. They have the Muppets experience or whatever. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's actually not bad.
Yeah, there's Kermit. There's Miss Piggy.
Haha says, Larry, you can say y'all in Texas, but not in Louisiana. Why's that?
Oh, Louisiana. What do they say?
Maybe is
Louisiana?
that a,
I lived there 9 months.
Some kind of a bad. It's a bad thing to say,
you
y'all.
lived in Louisiana also? You've
did,
lived
nine-
everywhere in
9
the
months.
entire
Where'd
country.
you live in Louisiana? I always
lived
thought
in-
when I drove from New Orleans to Baton Rouge on a couple different scouting trips, I thought to myself as I'm looking out off, there's these little, it's like the freeway in Louisiana is like raised up, right? So
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
weird.
you're driving over these marshes, but you're like maybe 50 feet over them. And you look down on the side of the freeway and you'll see these freaking little huts.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, my God, if you're ever running from the law, all you got to do is go park yourself in some hut between Louisiana and Baton Rouge. They'd never find you. I mean, that's just that's like the opposite of California as far as like, all the suburbs and everything. It's just,
that's good.
it's just, I mean, I don't even know how to describe that. It's like, it's almost like unincorporated land. I feel like I'm like spotting Calvin Burrell, the jockey,
weird,
every time I
man.
look down there. I'm like, what? That's probably where Calvin Burrell lives.
Yeah, it's a weird place. But I lived off of the Causeway Bridge. I lived in a town called Mandeville, Louisiana.
Why is the question?
Wait, Dan,
Well,
name
I
every
was-
state
I was-
you've lived in.
And the
California.
capital.
Wait. Larry, let's see. Yeah. Larry,
I
let's
can
see
do
if we
it.
can name every state that Dan's lived in, going back
Okay.
and forth.
See if we can
I'll
get
say Arizona.
California,
Ding, ding,
Yes.
ding.
2 for 2.
Texas.
No,
Idaho.
3.
Wow. Is that insider knowledge? You guys talking off the air?
He said it. He said it that one time. We had someone from
Washington,
Idaho.
Washington State,
No, I think I've only lived.
Oregon.
No, only lived in
Colorado.
5 states. No,
Okay, well, Louisiana.
Minnesota.
4.
Okay,
4,
fifth.
I got-
Connecticut.
That's it. 5 states. Got him.
What was your town in Connecticut?
I was in Avon.
Damn,
right
Rebel
next to
knew.
Farmington. I worked in
Rebel knew.
Farmington, Connecticut, where your sister lives.
That's right. She's a Farmington, Connecticut person.
Yeah, in fact, my office was in Farmington, Connecticut. I
How
worked for a
about this
company
little?
called Connecticut.
How about this little line? Wait a second. Speaking of Connecticut, where do you guys remember this line?
So New York style sausage was started over 70 years ago. We are the largest producer of fresh Italian sausage on the West Coast.
What makes our sausage in New York style is really the recipe came from back east, from New York, from Connecticut.
What? Wait.
Oh, I just wrote something.
Okay, so the recipe came from back east, New York,
Connecticut.
Connecticut.
He slips that in. It's like,
Not just.
They're like, well-
which one was it?
Maybe both. Maybe one
like,
family.
well, yeah.
Those aren't the same places.
Yeah, but they're right
the
next
brand
to each
is
other.
It
bigger.
comes
The
from
New York
back east,
brand's
New
bigger.
York,
Yeah.
Connecticut.
There's a part where you could their border. You cross from Connecticut into New York. Maybe the family lived maybe
Southern
on the east.
Connecticut,
Yeah,
Greenwich,
Southern Connecticut.
You
most
think that
expensive
maybe
real
their
estate in the country.
sausages straddled the line between New York and
Yeah,
Connecticut?
exactly. Maybe there was a tug of war over Pasquale sausage. Maybe let's find out from Mrs. Pasquale.
Oh, wait a second. We've got another comment here from Chardal. Dan, you're funny.
Yeah.
Dan, you're funny. Dan, you are fast. Dan,
I'm fast.
you have a good Kermit
These
impression.
are straight declarative sentences.
Yeah. Hey, do you know what position I played in baseball? What position?
Center
did I play?
Center field.
Yeah, center field. Yeah.
Put me in, coach. Put me in, coach.
I'm ready to put me in, coach. I'm ready to play.
Oh, you weren't going to
Center
sing it 5
field.
minutes ago. Now he's getting ready.
I love that song by
I'm Larry. He's Ryan. That's Dan Fogarty right there.
Dan Fogarty. Yeah. Dan
Val
Fogarty.
Ramos says, Larry, how do you barbecue New York sausages to your liking? Okay. This is me. I like to put them on the grill, and then I like to put a fork in them, kind of like the Giants on this last, like Danny did the other night with a T-shirt. I like to put a little fork in the sausage, and then see the juices kind of spill out.
Yeah, I was going to say, are you worried about the juices flying into your face?
Yeah, like do you want them like? Wait a minute. This is no. I'm not.
Do you want a molten grease facial?
Danny was going to say, do you like the juice firing out of the sausage? You were going to say something terrible, crude like that, weren't you?
Let it go.
Look at you. He's like, I would do it. If I was in Phoenix, I would do it. In Prescott with the swamp cooler, no, I can't do that. I can't go there.
Man.
Ew, Matthew Mears, don't you dare.
Oh, no, please no.
That's a gross thought.
What'd he say?
Raw in the
tripped
middle is the best. Sushi sausage. That can't be healthy. Can you do sushi sausage?
Sounds awful.
Sounds awful.
Justin Kerwin, Jimmy G traded to either the Jets or Browns.
I think it all depends on if the ruling comes down for Deshaun Watson tomorrow at the same time that the MRI results come back for Zach Wilson.
Wait, this is another great declarative sentence from Chardal. I love to see the juices coming out of the sausage.
Okay, that
is a good sentence.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, no, seriously. As far as if I think it's going to be who moves first. Who moves first?
You don't think that they might be using each other and then a third team swoops in?
It all depends on how desperate a team is. If Zach,
let me ask you this: would you take Kareem Hunt back for if they said, "Hey, we'll give you Kareem Hunt and a fifth for Jimmy and Sermon"? Would you do it?
1,000%.
You wouldn't do it?
No.
Why? Because of Kareem Hunt's domestic violence thing?
I just don't think.
By the way, I looked up that Kareem Hunt domestic violence case. He never those charges went away.
Yeah,
they were dropped.
It's not because of that. I think he's super fast and talented, but he is I just don't think with the
he's a
five
great
backs,
back. Really? You don't think he's a great back?
No, I do, but is he going to improve their backfield that much more than what they have? And
I think so.
he'd get
I think
more.
Kareem Hunt is a phenomenal back.
I'd rather.
He's like what they hoped McKinnon would be. He's like the on steroids committee.
Maybe he's so much faster than all of them. I mean, Mitchell's fast.
49er. I just assumed Dan lived in a 10,000 square foot home.
Yeah.
Not quite. I used to live in a 5,000 square foot home. But
Did you? Look at you. You're like a Vander Holyfield over here.
in Arizona, yeah, there was a huge.
Now you're living in a 55 and older community. But what if you're 52 and you try to move in? What happens?
I don't know.
Do you have to show ID? Like
I
I'm
don't-
not 55, and if let's say me and the missus, That's another one. I don't say that a lot. What if me and the missus?
I say it all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what if me and the
funny.
missus decide we want to come to Arizona and live in the 55 and older club? Would you give me a recommendation? You say, hey, look, I know a guy. He's got his own podcast. He's got a live stream. He knows Len. He knows Ryan, but La Boca Vista. He's not 55. He's not 55. Would that be like a deal breaker?
Well, I could maybe.
Would I be kind of viewed as like a party animal who's going to ruin the 55 and over crowd? Because
possible.
Would they look at me as like rowdy?
I might be able to pull some strings.
You might be able to, a guy who knows a guy who might be able to get me in?
Yeah, I'm on the board.
Oh, are you?
I am on the board.
You're on the board.
What?
I am on the board.
That's another one.
That's a big deal.
You're one of the boys on the board?
Unfortunately.
You're a board man.
Do you guys ever like vote people out, or what do you guys do on the board?
We got one lady on there that I just want to get rid of.
Do you guys have to
what
do
exactly
like?
Did she do?
She just complains.
She ruins the ratio of sausage.
She's just the worst. I mean, she's just got so many. I just got on this board for selfish reasons, and it backfired. I got.
What kind of? You were looking to sell some.
Yeah, I wanted to.
You wanted to grow your biz.
Well, yeah, and then I also wanted to get in there and find out the houses that were. I wanted to get the position, and they did away with it. That list the houses that come up because I wanted to buy them before they, find out.
So you're insider trading.
I was trying to, and then
Paul Pelosi over there.
Exactly. So now I'm on this stinking board, and I dread it every minute. We just got a meeting next week. It's just we got this cantankerous lady that just complains against everything, and she thinks every board member's out to get her. And
can we invite her on the show? I want to see you.
That'd be great. Could you film this at all? What if we took Rye off of Niner duty and sent him out to the 55 and over club?
Yeah, that's.
And next time we're doing a live stream, instead of having B-roll of camp, we have B-roll of the 55 and over meeting.
I should
and then
next week we're having a meeting about this one board member because she.
I do anything for footage.
Oh wait!
I just go in there. I go in there.
Let me read you the email. Let me read you the email.
Yeah,
nothing better than 55 and older discontent. Let me
read you the email she wrote. I gotta find it. Fill up some space here.
Okay. Imagine if you sent me in.
Me too.
Imagine if you sent me. Oh,
she ripped one of the board members.
Imagine if you sent me in for content and I go in there just solely for content, and then immediately Larry decides that he doesn't want the content anymore, and then I'm also stuck on the board with nothing to show for it. We're trapped. Oh no, not the email. Mark Ho.
Somebody, Romo 2001, Zapucky, a hell of a pickup for Farhan. Was Zapucky in the game tonight?
What? Is that guy in the Wu-Tang Clan?
Zapucky. He went a third of an inning, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned. Struck out 1, gave up a bomb. Hey, Zapucky. Who took Zapucky deep tonight, Danny?
I was playing ping pong.
Look at you. Wasn't my turn to watch him.
Yeah. All right. Chardal is getting pretty angry. We should maybe let him in.
Hold on. I got my letter here.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay,
to whom it may concern.
If it gets too long, stop me. It is long. This is okay. I'm not.
This is you wrote this to who?
I didn't write it. She wrote it to all the board members, and I'm not going to name too many. I won't name names except mine, just to I don't want to get
protect the innocent.
Yeah, I want to start with this meeting. Was primarily called to order as a working meeting changed to an executive meeting. Not really sure this falls under the definition of executive meeting, something that was obviously known by all board members except me. The agenda items were a situation with blank blank and an email sent by me blank blank. Item 1. Blank blank acted in totally inappropriate and disrespectful manner at an open meeting, calling a community member an asshole.
Is that Dan? Is that true?
Yeah, it was.
Okay. All right.
It was pretty funny meeting. She okay. Then proceeded to yell, "I will step down." then went on to slam her chair, phone, papers, etc., stormed out, slamming the door open, saying, "I won't be back." So at the above stated executive meeting, this situation was discussed for just about 10 minutes. I'll just say a different name. Nancy, it's not her name. Nancy making an apology to the board. Then a vote was taken as to Nancy staying on the board or not.
Hold on, freeze that thought. Frisco Willie donates $4.99. Did you see Willard said multiple sources told him there's turmoil and low morale among the front office employees because of Greg Johnson and Dean? This is talking about ownership discontent on the Giants. Didn't see that. Willard may have a source.
Willie. Okay, somebody's in here.
Finish up, Dan. Go ahead.
But Dan's going to finish.
So, item 2, an email sent to me on March 26, 2022, in which I had changed my mind regarding the repairs of our pool shed. Tar and feather me, which in fact, this was really not what this meeting was about at all. The meeting proceeded to last for another hour and a half with barely 10 minutes actually spent on my email. The rest of the time was spent browbeating me, harassing me, and what I feel.
Browbeating?
Get me to step down. Let me say this. That is not going to happen. Here are a few statements that were said to me. How I sat at the meeting.
I ain't going anywhere. I'm like the late Al Davis.
Everyone's totally lost.
I ain't going anywhere.
Everyone's like, I'm blanking out. Because Dan, it's not that it's bad, but you're also reading it in a librarian voice. So
okay, because I keep getting told to be quiet. I don't like having to be told to be quiet when I'm paying for this rental. Okay. So, she just says, how I sat at a meeting that I turned my back to the board. Nothing meant by it at all. Number 2, how I don't take notes at the meetings. I take notes at every single meeting. Number 3, how I say certain statements like you guys instead of us. I certainly do. Then number 4, Dan Coccimilgio had the very nerve to say to me that he has heard me say these things as well. The number one person who does not pay attention at the meetings, even mentioned in an email from a community member. Yeah, because I'm sitting there at these meetings and I could give a crap because
I kind of agree with her. She's very convincing.
Yeah. So, and then Nancy calling me a ringleader under her breath. Number 6, asking me how and why I changed my mind regarding the cost of repairing the pool shed. I mean, it just goes on and on. I'll stop there. But
does she realize that it's going to be so? How is it not so awkward now? Like she just called everyone out.
She called everybody out. It would be like, well, how about?
Sounds like a real peach of a woman.
How about Justin Fields saying all his receivers couldn't make it?
I know that's bad. Excuse me, man. That'd be hilarious if you went back with. Excuse me, are you familiar with Justin Fields?
I think I have an analogy that could really.
She's like, yeah, I bought those cookies at the mall. Dustin the Gale, $4.99. Speaking of the South, do you guys think that Alabama should have their own NFL franchise? Supposedly their USFL games get completely sold out.
I mean,
where?
Why not?
What would be the Birmingham? The Birmingham somethings?
That's I guess that does sound kind of lame. I mean, look at Louisiana. Louisiana's massive nutso for football. I guess they are nutso for the Saints. Bad point by me.
I gotta say, Justin Fields. When I read that, I thought, dude, you're a second-year quarterback, and you're calling out all your receivers, saying none of them would start for Ohio State.
Seriously, and where are you going with that? You ever see Moneyball where Billy's talking trash to Justice, and Justice says to Billy, "Hey, Billy, where are you going with that?" It's like that's what I want to say to that guy. Where exactly, Justin Fields? Where are you going with that?
I'm not exactly.
You do realize these receivers, I don't know, are going to make or break you. And you're going to sit there and rip them all? What about Darnell Mooney? I saw Fields throw a ball on the sidelines the other day, and Mooney picked it out of the sky with one hand. Did you guys see that?
Mooney is going to borderline have a breakout year, I think. And also Justin Fields, I'm not sure you'd start on Ohio State this year, buddy. because CJ Stroud's pretty good.
Hey, did you guys see the on Twitter the guy he's like been in the minors for years, and he was the Rockies, and he got called up, and he called his mother.
No.
Oh, you got to see. We got to play that. That is so cool. Let me see if I can find it.
What do you mean he called his mother?
He called his mom and let her know that he made the big leagues, and he's crying. And it's
Ashley
really cool.
says, "Oh, Dan having a joint birthday with his wife is cute."
Wait,
Yeah.
hello?
Hello.
Oh, Chardal, have you been calling and hanging up? have you been calling and hanging up?
How dare you hang up on us, Chardal? How dare?
Oh, sorry, that's okay. All right, what's cracking?
Justin Kerwin, Larry, we're getting bored here. New topic. How could you possibly be bored with Dan's whispering about his HOA letter? I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, the Niners played tonight, the Giants played tonight, but we have Dan whispering from Prescott, Arizona, about his board member. How could you be bored?
Okay, Ryan.
Right,
I just texted it to you. This is a pretty cool.
Listen to this one, Brian Lucena. HOAs are heaven for petty tyrants.
Oh, God,
That's a great line.
I am so tired.
Wait, are you guys hearing Chardal?
No.
No.
Chardal's a rumor to me right now.
Wow.
I'm seriously looking at going to this meeting Thursday, and I'm going to say,
film
what?
it. Why don't you film it?
One second.
I may
I'm
film
trying
it,
to figure it out.
I want to say I don't even want to be on this board. In fact, I don't even want to be in this stinking neighborhood because of this. I hate pettiness. What
you say is, you know what? If you guys continue to be this petty, I will infiltrate the board, and I will have groups of people under 55 buying property in here like nobody's business.
Yeah,
I will make the median age of this HOA 42 if it's the last thing I do.
And
then just drop your mic and walk out.
And I will have people chanting at midnight, 2 hours after curfew. The 10 o'clock.
Excuse me. If I have anything to say about this, the average age here will be 33, and then just drop the mic, and just see them just lose it. Just lose it.
Man. So,
all right, a couple last things on the Niner game. Let's get back to the Niners for a second.
That was
the Giants. The Giants were kind of sleepy. Give me your number one positive of the night from what you saw from the 49ers tonight. Number one positive. Most positive thing of the night. Would you say that it is it was Trey Lance? It was Danny Gray? It was Jordan Mason? It was Brock Purdy? It was
no serious injuries?
It was the 2 picks from Womack? Or Marcelino McCrary Ball, who had 4 tackles, 3 solo, also had a pick. What was the biggest positive of the night?
I think
from the 49er perspective.
I think the fact that
Danny
Ward
Gray in there too.
Yeah, fact that Charvarius Ward was out, and also Mosley was out, and those guys have been studs all camp. I thought that the takeaway for me was the takeaways. Womack getting 2, freaking awesome. I just love the fact that we have some actual ball hawks on the team this year with instincts, and and then what Danny said. I mean, ultimately, the most important thing is nobody got hurt and nobody got seriously hurt, and also other quarterbacks around the league got hurt, which means Jimmy is on the move.
What do you think, Dan? Story of the night in Ninerland. What was the biggest positive of the night?
Got a lot. We can only do one.
Trey sliding, maybe.
Yeah, Trey.
Everyone else says Womack.
I'm going to say Trey because of the expectations and
He did have 5 he only threw 5 passes though.
But the fact that he was played with composure, he did have that sliding play. He rolled out. He hit the receiver, for a little short pass, and then.
Oh, you guys got Ballsack Sported. I looked it up. The Fields thing was actually Ballsack Sports. Did that one of those things where they, just make a graphic and put the quote on it, and so you think it's legit, and they do have a fake reporter, and everyone retweets it.
Oh, it was a fake thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I couldn't believe he would say that.
We got taken for a ride by Ballsack.
Ballsack got you.
I would
God
say
dang it.
I'm going to go with Trey and Danny Gray because he not only
No one's even mentioned the O-line.
Yeah.
Jaguayo just said it. O-line was number one for him.
Burford looked like the real deal.
And another thing that was huge that cannot be overlooked, no serious injuries.
Dusty Gold says Purdy was good. It's tough. I would say Danny Gray. Because, the thing is, if you can get a vertical threat on your team, just somebody to run off the coverage, that's good. But when you can get that player to be also a really good receiver, now you've got something. Because every time he gets deep, you got to worry about them connecting. And to me, the Niners haven't had this player. I mean, they had Ted Ginn, they had Marquise Goodwin, but I think you could make an argument that Danny Gray has better ball skills and better receiving skills, and is just a more refined wide receiver than either of those guys. So I can't remember somebody this much of a home run hitter, this much of a vertical threat for the 49ers, who also could make other catches. He's not just strictly a go route guy on the outside. So I would say Danny Gray is a dynamic weapon that they haven't had.
Good pick, Larry.
Thank you.
Good pick.
It's like Family Feud.
Your turn, Ryan. Who was yours again?
Well, I kind of gave mine, and you know what? Womack, this is another awesome thing. I love.
Good pick, Ryan.
Good pick.
Wait, listen to this. So,
you took my guy. Be like the Giants rap.
Yeah.
You took my guy.
Yeah. Okay, Womack. Okay, apparently Womack says that he's been friends with
Ryan. Picks the pitchers.
Yeah, Womack said he's been friends with Ryan Rollins, the kid the Warriors took.
Oh yeah,
for a majority of their lives, and they both went to Toledo before getting drafted. So that's pretty awesome. I think Ryan Rollins is really good.
Super pick, Ryan. Super pick.
Excellent. Way to work in a second Bay Area franchise.
Yeah, I'm just like that guy who went to both games.
All right, it is 11:54. We're only going 6 more minutes. What's the biggest negative from tonight's Niner game?
The number 24, the cornerback. Of course, he didn't have a chance to make the team, but he just assured he's one of the first cuts, I think. Number 24, he was getting beat quite a bit.
Quantrez Knight?
No, it's Holman or something like that.
Oh, Kadar Holman.
Kadar Holman.
Tim Ryan was telling me how good Holman looked.
Really?
Just in camp last week.
He didn't look good tonight. He got beat 2 or 3 times.
49ers says Moore getting burned, but I think Moore's good.
I would say Drake Jackson winding up with a shoulder injury.
I think they said it's just a stinger, though, so that's hopefully all it is.
That would be the one negative to me. Possibly Ray McLeod's fumble, because it's obviously his move. He fumbled 6 times last year. I mean, the Niner fans are going to lose their S if he fumbles 3 times this year.
Yeah,
let alone 6.
There was another play I saw a replay on TV. It was a run up the middle for Green Bay. And Kinlaw just got pummeled. He was down on his knees. And I was wondering, I didn't keep an eye on him. Did you guys watch him at all and see how he was doing?
I mean, it was pretty hard without binoculars.
Yeah, I had some binoculars, but you know what? I lost my premium binoculars and I had to go buy a pair. So I bought some Bushnells. And I'm gonna return them, man. They weren't any good. I struggled to watch.
Some trash.
So that was kind of a bummer.
So we need
up there in the upper
How much
deck.
are those? How much are a good pair of binocs?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I went with the Bushnells. They were like like $50, but you could get them up to like $275.
So you need So you need 250, 270. Okay, so what we really need right now before midnight, guys, Larry to give us really good reporting. We need 3 or 4
$100
or $100 donations in the chat right now. If you want to come on live, in fact, the first $100.
Papa needs a new pair of shoes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind, getting a little zoom lens for my camera and just double using that as a camera and as my binoculars.
Mark Hope. Yeah, fuck Bushnells. I know, man. I thought the guy even said to me, he's like, the Bushnells aren't as good. But I said, well, you know what? Bring me the Bushnells.
All right, we're going to do something special right now. The first $250 donation tonight gets a 1-year full paid subscription to the Krueger Club show
and OnlyFans.
Yeah, so you get you a $250.
I was hoping you were going to give a year-long subscription to like Ranger Rick magazine or something,
HOA membership.
You got Ranger Rick. Yeah, you're going to get a 3-year subscription to Ranger Rick.
Hey, we could give some tickets to the Giants D-backs for next Tuesday night, which is what do they call that? City Connect night. So
look at this one, Shante Ortega. Larry, you reap what you sow. What? That's a little negative for
That's a little judgmental.
It's a little judgmental just because my Bushnells. I think what you mean is you get what you pay for, right? Not you reap what you sow.
We should get some. We should get some military.
So
no, Larry,
it's a little harsh, man.
We should get some military grade.
You sinned so bad the other day, Larry. Now you're reaping what you sow on your binoculars.
You reap what you sow. I hope your binoculars are reverse, and you can't see anything. Mark Hope, get some Navy SEAL shit, Larry. Thank you.
That's
Thank
what
you,
I'm
Mark.
thinking. I'm thinking like
that's
a
very
sniper
helpful.
rifle scope.
That's very helpful.
Yeah, call Lynn.
Excuse me, I'm at Old Navy. I need some Navy SEAL shit.
Go to Cabela's. Go to Cabela's and ask them what to get.
Where should I go? I was at Dick's.
Cabela's.
I'm going to show up with this for the next game.
What the hell is that thing?
People are going to think there's an assassin. Lee Harvey Oswald's up there, but I think it's really just me trying to get some great.
I've got a one-eye magnifying glass. I'm watching everything out of one eye.
Oh man.
Yeah, we're just bringing that through the media security. Oh, and what's this? Oh, don't worry about this. It's just a sniper rifle scope.
What if I get one that's like bigger than a kettle drum? It's just a massive,
that's what I need.
Larry's up there, and there's like, oh man,
everybody else is talking coverage. I'm like, did you see the acne on Drake Jackson? He's got terrible oil buildup right beneath his left eyelid. I can see it through my incredible binoculars.
You're like, what is that? What's that red?
With these scopes,
what's that red light?
The FBI
what's that red light on Shanahan's forehead? What is that? Maybe what if I zoom in more? Will that get rid of the red light? Oh no, it seems to be still there on his forehead.
I'm like stealing coverages on the sideline.
Yeah.
Larry's up there in the booth with these high-tech binoculars looking deep in. He's all of a sudden.
Kyle, did you notice in the third quarter that the defensive coordinator for the other team itched right above his eyebrow, and then there was a slight notepad off to his left shoulder? I saw all this from the upper deck because I have the world's greatest binoculars.
Okay, what about more of a nautical set where I get the thing out for you, Larry, and you just hold your hands up like this and you don't do anything, and then I get it out for you, and then I place it in and then you go like this, and then you extend like the nautical, like looking off.
It's all pushed up against the glass.
All of a sudden, he gets stormed in. The FBI comes in and says, he was there on January 6th. I know he was. Take him away.
January 6th. Scotty says, picture Larry wearing a monocle. Oh my God. Somebody says, get some Bushnell spectator goggles. Somebody had a good one here. Nikon.
Larry's one of the Proud Boys.
Nikon LOL. Mark Hope, should I go with Nikon? Oh man. All
Nikon
right.
just seems like a reasonable lens.
All right, let's do this. We've been going for almost 2 hours. We still got 200 people in the room. Crew, great show, gentlemen. Have a great night. Stay blessed. Jaguayo, we love you, brother. Have a good night.
Way to go, Jaguayo.
Don't butcher Jaguayo's
But you
name.
condescend, Jaguayo.
I was sorry, Jaguayo. I was yawning.
That was Danny's just a
Jaguayo's
son of
my-
a bitch, isn't he? I mean,
Jaguayo's
just
my
son
man.
of a.
Hey, you know, I know Jaguayo by his first name. You know what it is?
Ja?
No, it's Joel.
Joel.
Joel
Okay.
Jaguayo.
Look at you. Look at you.
Joel.
Dan's, by the way, thanks for joining our chat. Dan Coccimilgio will be building a dossier of each one of you. So,
Yeah, let me come up with some names like Chris
Danny,
Berman.
what's Kyle McKiernan's middle name? What if we had a trivia
I'm
thing
gonna
about
start doing. I'm gonna start.
Now that would be hilarious.
You break out the tripod.
Excuse me, there is an incredible man-to-man coverage going on Uranus.
Who's saying it?
I'm excuse me, I just saw a highlight from the 7th ring of Saturn.
I seem
Oh
to be
my
looking
God.
back into time.
Dusty Gold, those are big cans. Yes, they are.
Hey, I think I'm going to start doing with names like Chris Berman. I'm going to give like when Mark Hope comes in with a donate. There's Mark No Hope. Mark, let's see. Should we?
Carlo P.
I don't wanna call him
Dan
Mark
knows
No
David VR's parents.
Let's see. Who can I come up with some names here? I got to come up. My brother's really good at coming up with funny names for people. He's let's see. Come on. Who can I? I'm going through the chat here.
We got this one. Kyle McKiernan. Dan, why do you know all this? Are you a spy? Oh my God. Dusty Gold. Those are big cans. Those are big cans.
We got to come up with names. We got to come up with names for some of these guys.
You know, cans are also in radio, like what people describe their headphones as.
Yeah.
And one day I was doing a show with Gary and Kate Scott, and Kate had these like gold rimmed headphones. And I'm like, Kate, those are great cans. And, you know, needless to say, Gary was like, what? What did you just say? And I'm like, I told Kate she's got great cans. You had to be there.
I did that in high school once. I was my best friend, and I'm getting out the. She pulls up to the gas station.
Chardol, those are double D binoculars.
She pulls up to the gas station, right? And I get out to put the gas in, and it's a little Volkswagen Bug, and I couldn't find the tank, and I was like,
It was behind the license plate.
I don't know where the thing was, and I'm looking for it, and I go, Mrs. Agnew, where's your hole?
That ain't right.
No, but she laughed. She thought it was great, and my friend, he was just rolling over laughing. So, you know, that was 40 plus years ago. I was like, I think I was like a freshman or sophomore in high school. I'm like, so it's one of those
Anonymous. Should there be a pitch clock on Dan's stories?
pitch clock. Yeah, I need to get it out.
Oh man, wait, am I right? Joey Fart?
Mark Agnew. Or Mark Hope, the Agnew hole. Oh, that is awesome. All right. A lot of good people in the chat today, a lot of good dialogue, and we got a little distracted. But first, let's have a word from our sponsors before we get to our final segment on the Krueg Show. Larry Krueger here for Telmetrics. Thanks to Casey Bateman and the good people at Telmetrics. If you're an occupational therapist, if you're an orthopedic surgeon, a chiropractor, a physical therapist of any kind, Telmetrics is designed for you to use in your practice and will greatly benefit your patients. Telmetrics uses computer vision and artificial intelligence and provides a platform for outpatient rehab therapy services, both in the clinical and the telehealth environments. So using Telmetrics can improve your patient's experience and much more. So for all your sports injury needs, or if you're a physical rehabilitation specialist of any kind, call and make sure you use telmetrics.co, Telmetrics.co. And thanks to Casey Bateman and all the good people at Telmetrics for being a proud sponsor of the Krueg. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Dan Coccimilgio. Dan is a buddy, and he is a phenomenal retirement planning specialist. And you can contact him today at securemoney.com or at his number 925-628-9966. There's a lot of uncertainty in our world right now, and you want to make sure that your money is secure. That is the key. Danny's got 25 years of experience, born and raised right here in the Bay Area, and he can help you get an immediate 10% premium bonus on your principal retirement account. So give him a call, 925-628-9966. He'll make an appointment with you, and you can sit down. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of a deal. He'll consult with you and come up with a strategy to get you going to where you want to be. Once again, 925-628-9966, securemoney.com on the web. And thanks to Tony Cassera and the good people at Cassera's Italian Menswear. They are housing the Krueg Show t-shirts, and they're a proud sponsor of the show as well. The Krueg Show t-shirt, the Krueg Show podcast t-shirt is available there at their store in Dublin. Their address is 7372 San Ramon Road in Dublin, California. And go see Tony Cassera and get yourself a Krueg Show t-shirt and support the show. And special thanks to our sponsor, New York Style Italian Sausage. That's right, NewYorkStyleSausage.com is their website. Phenomenal product, whether it's the breakfast sausage, the Italian mild, the Italian spicy, the chorizo. You cannot go wrong with New York Style Italian Sausage. Once again, NewYorkStyleSausage.com. Often imitated, never equaled.
We grew up with a Sunday dinner. That means no matter how busy you were, no matter where the hell you were, you came to dinner on a Sunday night. Yeah, Sunday dinner without sausage, it's like a church without God. You know, how can you go to church if you don't believe in God? You know, and along with the sausage also became the discussions. That was discussion night. You know, it wasn't a typical family that you sit there and you're quiet, you know, and you don't talk with a mouthful. Oh, no, man. Italians talk when they're eating. Italians even talk when they're sleeping. And definitely we talk with our hands. So if we can't express it through our mouth, through our lips, we express it with our hands. So, and that's what sausage is, really. It's an expression, you know, that life is good.
So New York Style Sausage was started over 70 years ago. We are the largest producer of fresh Italian sausage on the West Coast.
What makes our sausage in New York style is really the recipe came from back east, from New York, you know, from Connecticut.
If you look at all of our labels, there's maximum 4 or 5 ingredients, which we're really proud of.
There's no preservatives, no MSG, fresh in, fresh out.
The pork comes in fresh, goes out fresh. There's never any freezing throughout the process. We've always used fine quality cuts. We're never gonna deter from that. It's one of the reasons why our sausage is so good. I guarantee you put our sausage up against anybody else's from a flavor standpoint, no one will beat it, hands down.
Hey, do yourself a favor and do me a favor. Go buy a package of the New York Style Italian sausage. Guaranteed you will love it. Guaranteed.
right, we're coming down the home stretch. Larry Krueger, Dan Coccimilgio, Ryan Smith, Brian Lucena. I've changed my sleeping habits since finding the Krueg show. Well, Brian, I like to hear that. Let's see. Let's hit the chat a little bit. Matthew Vasquez. They sure are passionate about sausage. Yes, they are. Very passionate about sausage. Kyle McKiernan. I'd try those sausages if they were in NorCal.
They are.
They are. They're in NorCal. Kyle, are you in NorCal? Because New York style Italian sausage most definitely is. In fact, they're right across the street from Levi Stadium.
They
Rome
are.
2001. The hot Italian sausages are excellent. Absolutely. I love the Italian mild, the Italian spicy. Carlo P says, are we going to talk Giants? Danny, go ahead. You
Yeah,
wanna talk about
Giants. Sure.
Good game for Yaz, huh?
Good game tonight for Yaz. Tell you a little story I had in the game. I bet Rodon that we'd get 7 strikeouts. So I thought, that's easy. 7 strikeouts, Pirates. He pitched great against them, recently, and won 2-0. And I'm thinking, he'll shut him down. Well, he's at 4 strikeouts going into the 6th inning. And his pitch count's getting up. And I'm going like, oh, man, he's got to strike out the side to get 7 strikeouts. Well, he gets 2 strikeouts. And he's got 2 strikes on a left-handed guy. Can't remember who it was. And it just he made the second strike. He threw him a nice curve, made him look silly. And I'm thinking, oh, throw it again. Because, I know it was his last inning. And the guy hits a fly ball to deep center. And I'm like, get out. And he did. He cleared it was gone. I'm like, oh, good. He got another. So the next guy, he gets 2 strikes. And the guy gets a double down the line. I'm going, Kapler, don't you dare come out and get him, because now it's 4-2. Third guy, he struck him out. And he got ended with 7. He threw like over 110 pitches. So he left him in. He got his 7th strikeout. So I was happy about that. But
Hell yeah.
The first time I'm like, get out. I'm like, don't catch that. But Giants, Duvall looked good again. Shut him down tonight easily. 1-2-3 in the 9th, which is what you want from your closer. And I think the fact that if anything positive comes out of this year going into next year, it's the battery mates. It's the closer and Bart. And the fact that we got Logan Webb, and if Alex Wood can come back and pitch decently, and Cobb has another year on the contract, and hopefully DeSclafani recovers.
What do you guys think of Tatis getting 80 games for PEDs?
Man, that is just
kick to the gut for the Pods, huh?
I mean, can you imagine? They had all that momentum, and it's. I think it's gone for this year.
Completely gone.
But he hasn't played all year.
Yeah, but he was due back. He was on a rehab assignment this week. He was going. Was it this week or Monday? He was starting the rehab, and was due back. He would have been here at Oracle the end of August.
Didn't the Giants kind of rally when they lost Melky Cabrera?
They won the World Series.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
but they also got half a year of him hitting like 330 out of it.
But I don't think Melky Cabrera is Tatis. I mean, he was good that year. He was hitting 300, and he was leading the league in hits and all that. But
he was almost a batting champion.
Yeah, I mean, but
he's not Tatis, but he was pretty.
Yeah, I mean, they still got Josh Bell and Drury, and I mean, they're still loaded.
I still think it. Who knows? I mean,
that's a good one.
AJ Preller's tick, though. I mean, he even made some comments like, we thought after the biking accident that we'd see some maturity, and evidently not. Something along those lines. Yeah.
Guys, just getting for people who are wondering, hey, what do we got going on in the days ahead on the channel? Tomorrow, I'm not sure exactly what tomorrow's going to bring. I'm not sure what the deal is going to be for tomorrow. We may take tomorrow off. Sunday, we are going to be hopefully doing we'll be down in Santa Clara interviewing some 49er people. maybe we could do a little live stream on Sunday night when we get back and bring some of those 49er interviews that we do Sunday to the air on Sunday night. So I think maybe
that would be good.
I think that's that's the plan. So tomorrow I think I'm going to, just enjoy the kids a little bit and,
tomorrow's
it's gonna be hot.
a 6 o'clock game. So we'd be on it, it'd be another 9:30.
I mean, if Jimmy gets traded or something big tomorrow, then we'll jump on for a live stream. But otherwise, I think we're going to take tomorrow off. We'll get back at it Sunday. Ryan and I are going to be in Santa Clara around 3 o'clock, and we'll be back probably in the early evening. So maybe Sunday night around 9 o'clock or so, we'll do a live stream and talk a little Giants, talk a little Niners. At that point, I will have been able to kind of rewatch the film, and we're going to have some interviews from the Niner event on Sunday. So we'll bring some of that to the table. And then Monday, where are the Giants Monday, Danny?
I just had it up here. Home, Arizona, 4-game series at home.
Okay, so we'll come on Monday night and talk a little with little baseball Monday night. Maybe we'll get Ned back on the show Monday night. We haven't talked to Ned in a while. Yeah, and I know I'd like to get Ned's thoughts on what he's seeing.
Yeah, that would be great. They got 3 night games Monday through Wednesday, and then Thursday's an afternoon game. And then they go to Colorado after that. So
good stuff. Yeah. Good stuff. You guys got a final thought before we bolt for the door and call it a night?
Well, I think maybe you guys want to give give the people out there listening a tip for tomorrow, a gambling tip. Who you got?
You look at you. Look at Danny. Gambling tips.
My gambling tip would be if the Giants get up, live bet the Pirates money line because they have no respect for the Pirates to the point where, I sent it to you guys. They were the Pirates were plus 575 in the 7th inning when they were only down 1 run, and they easily could have came back.
With the Giants bullpen? Heck yeah.
Yeah. So I just keep an eye on that because it's going to open up pretty heavy, probably like Giants minus 270. So if the Giants can get a 1-run lead, 2-run lead, I would bet the Pirates live.
It's hard to say because usually you want to call your pitcher. I'm looking at some of the matchups tomorrow. DeGrom goes tomorrow. You can take Corbin Burns against the Cardinals.
Ride DeGrom. DeGrom looks better than ever.
Frankie Montas pitches at Fenway tomorrow for the Yankees. It's interesting.
Those games are always too close. I
see that Montas.
Tyler Beatty starts tomorrow against Logan Webb.
That's right. That's going to be an interesting one to see Beatty back. I think I'm going to go with I think I'll take Hugh Darvish, the Padres over the Nationals.
Hugh.
You.
Yeah,
you, Darvish.
Not he, you.
What about the Orioles?
They are in the playoff picture right now.
I know.
They're the third wild card.
They're the most profitable team to be gambling on.
And oh man,
Tampa's minus 190. They got McClanahan on the mound.
Yeah, there's not a lot of games tomorrow, is there? Why is there not a full game slate tomorrow?
Dan, have you been betting any preseason football?
No, I won't do that.
Here's a tip for everyone. Bet the Ravens until they lose. They currently have won 20 straight
preseason games. 21, I think. 21
yeah. So I took advantage of that.
What do you make of that? That's almost really more about your personnel department than anything.
Yeah,
I don't know. Your talent is your roster's deeper.
But they still keep they lined the game at the Ravens -3 versus the Titans, and it's why not just take them until because
I'll say this: I like the Giants tomorrow. I really do. I like Logan Webb going against Beatty.
Should be. That should be
Clarence Beats, no Hall of Fame for Tatis, right? 23. It's already over.
Hey, is that right? That he used. If you hold the standard. I
also like the Astros. I like the Astros tomorrow with McCullers. The A's swept them in Oakland. Now that they're in Houston, give me the Astros tomorrow. They're minus 285, I believe. That's a big favorite. But I like the Astros to beat the A's. Maybe you parlay it with something else.
What do you think of this?
Try to get more value.
I saw this tweet and this would be a good question for Ned when we have him on. Saw this tweet by Dieter Kurtenbach. It says,
Saw
step
Dieter
one,
tonight.
step one, do the roids. Step two, mash 40-plus homers. Step three, sign a $340 million guaranteed contract. Step four, who cares? You won.
Accurate. I
mean,
just don't even think it works that way. Like,
was he tainted when he hit 40 homers, do you think?
Who?
Tatis. Was he juiced?
I bet that was more of a recovery thing.
I'll say this: there's no more indications. Like, you can't look for bulk. No, you can't look for there. It's not like you can. There's any physical indications. The substances are so sophisticated at this point that you could be all over HGH and really have no physical changes of any note. So this whole like yesteryear way of finding steroid users, they're bulked up and they're this and that. No.
You can't tell.
That's not always going to be the case. Yeah, I mean, the bulked up, the substances are more advanced than that. So,
what about like with the steroids that you take? Like I had to take steroids after I had COVID. They gave me a 5-day taper. You take
get some nandrolone in you.
I don't know what the heck the stuff is. The doc just said, this is reduces inflammation.
There's a big difference between a steroid and an anabolic, steroid. I had a steroid shot into my ankle when I had ankle surgery. It's not, I'm not taking anabolic steroids.
Yeah.
There's a big difference.
Different type. Okay. Yeah.
Different type of steroid. One final thought on the Niners. You got one? We already kind of shared most of our thoughts, but do you have if you're watching this game again, what are you looking for?
I guess I'm probably watching the O-line. I couldn't really tell what was going on there from up where we were.
Yeah, when you watch a game backward after the game, you can definitely focus more on the offensive line. You can slow it down. You can replay it and look at it, see what guys are doing.
I want to watch for Purdy because it's funny. I did this live stream this morning with Grant Cohn, and I was saying that I kind of like Purdy to beat out Sudfeld. He believes that Purdy's arm is less than Mullen's arm. And my feeling on it after that? Grant, after watching the
Tim Ryan said the opposite tonight. He talked about Mullins and Purdy.
I agree. I agree with Tim Ryan. I disagree with Grant on this one. We kind of, we kind of went in different directions here. He thinks that Mullins has a better arm than Purdy. To me, based on what I've seen, and didn't include tonight, I felt like Purdy had a better arm than Mullins. Like he can make more of the throws. So when I watch this game again, I'm going to see if I can isolate a couple throws that give me a better idea about.
Well, his first throw that was
about Purdy's arm strength.
Deep, it almost got picked off a little bit because he threw it off of his back.
He can't throw a deep ball.
He threw it off his back foot. He threw it off his back foot though.
But Purdy did connect with Danny Gray on a couple of different deep balls in this camp. So it's like, wait a second. If he can throw the ball to Danny Gray deep down the field and hit him in stride, maybe he's got enough of an arm. Maybe he's got more of an arm than we think.
He's accurate. The throw that they called pass interference down there near the goal line, which wasn't pass interference, by the way, perfect throw, and the receiver just dropped it. It was a beautiful throw.
I bet he ends up in training camp because he's less likely to get picked. On the practice squad because he's less likely to get picked off.
Purdy?
Yeah. Went undrafted, basically.
Yeah, I know.
That would be an interesting one. What if Purdy outplays Sudfeld? They gave Sudfeld guaranteed millions, right? $2 million a year?
Was it 2 or 3? It was either 2 or 3 that they gave him guaranteed, but
Dusty Gold says Purdy was a 4-year starter in college. It matters.
Yeah, Tim Ryan talked a lot about his 4 years and all the games he's been in.
Look at his numbers. The numbers are good.
And they were saying at the end of the game, he was running the clock down like a total veteran when he was taking the snaps.
When you watch him on the practice field, he's in total command. You can tell.
Yeah. He looks confident out there.
He definitely looked like he felt like he belonged. 4 years. I mean, he had a pretty good record at Iowa State, which, Iowa State prior to him getting there wasn't very good.
Mark Hope says Purdy's arm is stronger, in my humble opinion, Larry. Suddy's looked cheesy. Yes, Suddy got $2 million. Suddy. All right, guys, let's bolt for the door. Good show tonight. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Lots of people. We went 2 hours and 20 minutes. It was a long day in Santa Clara, so I'm going to pour myself a tall, cold one and watch the game again right now with the rest of the family crashed out.
Oh, sounds so good.
You got the Giants game replayed on the background there, Rye, on the TV?
Probably. They probably just ran it back.
Okay.
Yeah, it's coming. It's on right now. I'm watching Yaz park one out to right center.
Wow. So
Yaz got pretty good oppo power for sure.
Yeah, that put him up 1-0 there, right? Yeah. That was,
1-0 in the second.
Yeah.
I love Orange Friday, by the way. That orange jerseys look so good. So good.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Good stuff. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for participating. See you on Sunday. Unless Garoppolo gets traded, then look for the surprise live stream. Otherwise, for Dan and for Rye, I'm Larry. Good night.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful, you gon' get exactly what you asked for. Careful, whatever you bring me getting handled. I answer to no one, I don't need to hassle. Yeah. We ain't never fall back. Hold our ground.